Miggity, 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 miggity. Mic check, 1, 2. Oh, I've got my headphones. Mic check 1, 2, mic check 1, 2. Wagwan people, wagwan people, wagwan. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Mic check. Apologies for the delay. I just came straight from the gym. Haven't even showered yet. Haven't even changed yet. I came straight from the gym. No change, no shower. Because I'm running late. Apologies. Let's go. What's happening, people? What's happening? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Hope you're all good. Hope you're well. Oops, sorry, I got something in my ear there. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. What's going on, people? What's going on? Welcome back to the random show. What's happening, people? Apologies for delay. I just got back from the gym. Got myself a quick little smudge. We're ready to go. What's happening, people? Hope you're good. I left a little which I shouldn't be surprised by. I'm just thinking, like, just generally, you know, how like shitty my area is. So last night when I went to the gym late at night, I left my bicycle light in the gym. I've got one of those nice little, it's quite a nice one actually. It's a decent one. It's one that kind of clips off. You can clip it on and clip it off really easily, and it charges via USB. So it's like a rechargeable one. You need to put batteries in it. It's a pretty bright backlight, right? So I left my backlight in the gym. I left it behind. I forgot it. But then I thought to myself, you know what? It's a backlight, isn't it? And it needs a special mount. Like, you clip it off. If you don't have the mount, you can't put it on your bike. So it's like useless. So it's like, surely no one's going to steal that, right? Someone's going to hand it in. So I went... That's my first mistake. Surely no one's going to steal my backlight, right? Someone's going to hand it in the next day. So I go and ask them at the little reception bit today, like, hey, did somebody hand in my backlight when I went today? It's like, backlight? It's like, yeah, like a little red one. She searched underneath the desk. The lady went into the room. She went here, she went there, like 4 different locations where they might leave stuff behind where someone kept it, and like, nah, nobody handed in your backlight, sir. Think to yourself, like, what type of fucking bum do you have to be to steal somebody's backlight? But then I remind myself of the area I'm in. It's one of the worst areas in London, worst boroughs in London. I think my borough might have the lowest or the highest unemployment rate. There's constantly stabbings and shit going on around here. Constantly car accidents happening, weirdly enough, right? Accidents on the street with fucking pedestrians and people in cars, people on fucking scooters, on bikes. Just, there's always some sort of accident happening. Just the other day, around the corner from where I live, this like 70-year-old Filipino man, I think, unfortunately got fucking knocked over, hit and run, and he died. Just literally around the corner of my house. And it's like, I keep forgetting where I live sometimes. Like, hold on, if I live in that place, why would a person hand that in? And then I remember, then I think back to some time. There was a time where I was doing a lot of like, because now I'm working out in the gym a lot. There's a time when I was doing a lot of my CrossFit workouts outdoors, which, you know, was a little bit redacted, but I quite enjoyed it. I should probably go back and do it. But I was one of those freaks that would take a kettlebell, I'd take a dumbbell, I'd take a barbell, I'd take all that shit to a park, and I'd be doing like CrossFit workouts, right? I was one of those fucking freaks. So there's a time where I was doing that, and I remember one particular day, I had like a WOD, a workout of the day that included skipping, but it also included running. So it included, like, imagine the workout was like, I don't know, do for 5 sets, do 10 push-ups, do 100 skips, 100 fucking double unders or skips, and then run for 200 miles, right? So I was doing that in the park. So I was doing my press-ups, doing my skipping, and then running for 200 miles for 5 times. In that time that I was running, I think it might have been the penultimate time, maybe the second to last or the last time, right? Somebody stole my fucking skipping rope. I was in the park running, like doing laps around the park. So I'd push up, skip, run, push up, skip, run, push up, skip, run. And then in the time, I think the 4th time, somebody just stole my skipping rope. Nothing else. Didn't take my bottle of water, Didn't take, I had a little massage ball for your feet to kind of help you with the plantar fasciitis. Didn't take that. Didn't take my little drawstring bag. Just took my skipping rope. My little £10 Amazon skipping rope. So when I think back to that, I think to myself, if somebody would steal my skipping rope as I was working out in the park, then of course somebody's not going to hand in my fucking bike light. You know? I should have known. I should have fucking known. But yeah, that's my that's my fucking that's my life, really. So I was kind of fucked. So I had to cycle home in the dark after the gym, which is a bit scary, you know, because I like cycling on the street, and I'm afraid I might get fucking run over by some fucking delirious fucking, you know, car driver. But I was fine. Me and my fat ass were fucking fine. Anyway, people, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, apologies for the delay, but we're here, we're queer, we're ready to fucking rock. If you are liking what you're seeing what you're liking throughout the duration of this particular stream, please make sure you smash the like button. That's all I ask. Smash the like button. And of course, if you want to come back again and see some other stuff in your algorithm, subscribe to the channel. That'll also be appreciated. As you guys know, we're doing a 31-day member marathon. We're pushing for 31 days. And in those 31 days, the aim is to get 500 members. So if you want to join and become a member of this particular Blood Clot channel and get access to member-only fucking videos, as well as priority shout-outs and stuff and all that malarkey, make sure you become a member. There's a link in the description to become a member. You can opt in for gifted memberships. You can gift a membership if you want to. All that good stuff is much appreciated. But if you don't want to do that, which I understand, just like and fucking subscribe. That's all you have to do. Like and subscribe throughout the duration of the show. You don't have to do it now, but do it throughout the duration of the show. Whenever you feel like it, whenever something touches you in your soul, whenever I speak to you, whenever I resonate with you, little thumbs up, little thumbs down. I don't care. All engagement is good engagement. And then subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay? Anyways, moving on. First things first. Back. Yo, big up.
Powerful bunch.
Big up Young God Vibes.
If you get ran over, can I have all DH gate fakes?
100%. You get my entire replica library. No, my entire replica archive. My entire replica archive gets signed off to the queen that is Young God Vibes. I'll sign it off to you. You'll be in my will. I'll sign it all off to you. All my replica hard drive, my replica archive will be signed over to you. So you too can be drippy like me. Big up Young God Vibes. So do you guys hear that? Can you hear that? I think I hear a chicken somewhere. Look at Jason CALACANSIS, huh? Look at Jason CALACANSIS, the guy that doesn't fucking shut up to mention how many times he fucking invested in fucking Uber early on, and one of Elon Musk's premier ball washers, no, cock gobblers actually. Jason CALACANSIS has been sucking off Elon before Elon even knew who he was, you know? Fucking crazy. So he's been one of those guys who have been on Elon's nuts before we kind of knew who Elon was, you know? Before we got a real understanding of what he's like as a person, how much of a dickhead he is. Jason CALACANSIS was super on the Elon train, which is kind of bearable because, you know, Elon, when it comes to the tech side, if you don't know what you're looking at, you know, it kind of can seem quite impressive. Well, ever since Elon has got involved in politics, it's been quite obvious that, you know, Elon's a bit of a dickhead. And of course, some of the feats, some of the things that he gets praised about when it comes to his companies, you can't necessarily attribute them all to him, you know? Is he really that amazing and awesome? Or is he just a manager of people, puts his name on the fucking masthead, but doesn't really do anything day to day? Because me personally, I can't believe it now because my eyes have been open, despite being a fervent fucking Elon fanboy. Now that I'm doing stuff with my life, which is fucking weird, in the last, 5 to 10 years, now that I'm actively doing things with my life and I'm not procrastinating anymore, and I'm actually going for things that I want to achieve, dreams that I kind of want to make and shit, I'm starting to realize just how difficult it is to do, to kind of achieve things. Where as you're working a job, you have looking after your family, you have friends, you have this, you have that, just how difficult it is to strive to get to your dreams, right? So if on my minor level, if on my small, tiny, insignificant, minute level, if I can sometimes sit there and think to myself, fuck, 24 hours is not enough. There's not enough time in the day for me to do what I need to do. And before I didn't believe that. Before back in the day, I would say, oh no, there's always enough time. You just got to prioritize. No, sometimes you just run out of time. Sometimes you can push as much as you want to, but you just run out of fucking time. So if I feel like there's not enough hours in the day for me to achieve or to complete the things that I need to do to accomplish my goals, how much more for fucking Elon Musk? This guy's on Twitter 24/7. How the fuck is he running all these companies? How? It doesn't make sense. So that for me is the biggest red flag. Is like, I'm struggling to manage my time and I'm insignificant. And this guy's meant to be this fucking world's smartest guy in the world, yet he's on social media all the time, making memes and shit. Like, how are you going to be generating memes, writing tweets, fucking composing fucking clapbacks, but then but you want me to believe that you're an engineer at SpaceX? You want me to believe that you're an engineer at Tesla? You want me to believe that you're leading in a boring company? You want me to believe that you're fucking at the heart, at the heart of fucking Neuralink? Fuck off. Fuck right off. So,
Powerful bunch.
pick up what's hard as these.
Oz been on a streak. I understand black fatigue now.
You're such a fucking idiot. You're such a fucking idiot. I fucking hate you. Big up Asad Aziz. I absolutely hate you. You're such a cunt. Anyways, ignore Asad Aziz. Ignore him. Listen to me. So anyway, all that to say, Jessica Canis is a big Elon Musk ball washer. So obviously, you guys will know Elon and Donald Trump have fallen out in epic fashion, and it's been made more epic, I think, because of Elon's allegation that Trump is in the Epstein files, and that's why we haven't got them yet. That's why there's a delay in terms of releasing them. Elon has kind of walked that back now. I think he's deleted that tweet, if I'm not mistaken, but still he put that out there. So that's pretty serious allegation to put out there, essentially accusing the sitting president of being involved in sex trafficking. That's like prison time shit. That's serious. We all probably believe he's on those lists anyway, but him saying it aloud, whereas when he was once Trump's like right-hand man, maybe even ahead of fucking Vance, is a big deal. So everyone's talking about it, right? Everyone's talking about it. It's a big conversation. It's a big topic. The world's richest man, and the world's fucking most powerfulest man go to war. It's a big topic. No matter where you lie, no matter where you stand, no matter where you fucking are on the political fucking aisle and shit, it's a big topic. You gotta speak about it. Well, guess what? Jason Calacanis and his fucking oligarch co-host on the All In podcast decided to skip this week's podcast because they usually record on Mondays. They usually record on Sundays, Mondays, and drop them, Monday, Tuesday. They skipped to record an episode because it involves Elon and Donald Trump, because everybody on that show sucks off Elon and they're all in love with fucking Trump. So they don't want to speak about it because, they feel compromised. They feel biased. They don't want to give their opinion. Fucking chickens. Cowards. Absolute fucking cowards. So this is the post courtesy of Jason Calacanis' Twitter. I've decided to take a beat and not comment on the Trump and Elon Donny book. Brouhaha happens, but these Brannigans fade into the kerfuffles before you know it. Then all we remember is a silly shindy. We Irish have a lot of words for fracas, don't you know? So essentially he's saying, I'm not going to comment on it because I want it all to die down. I want to see how it plays out first. Motherfucker. You comment about everything else that happens in the news. Just imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. Just imagine if fucking Elon was all buddy with fucking Biden and then fell out with Biden in this type of epic fashion. And then Elon accused fucking Biden of killing one of his own sons. Right? Imagine something like that. All right? Imagine how these guys will be frothing at the mouth to speak about that topic on their fucking pods. But because it involves Trump and because it involves fucking Musk, they don't want to touch it. They want to be cowards. They want to avoid it. They want to skip an episode, skip a week, and then come back next week because they know we live in a fast news cycle. By the time next week comes around, no one's going to remember this happened. Absolute fucking cowards. But the thing that's funny about Jason Calacanis, he gets a lot of hate on social media, obviously, clearly, because he's a bit of a fucking weapon, right? And he has a bit of a thing as well for like the Red Scare girls as well, by the way. We're very strange because he's very old. but he seems to have a thing. He seems to have a little liking and a fancy to the red scare girls. I think his favorite is definitely Dasha. I think he's got a thing for Dasha for sure. That aside, anyway, he decides to close his replies. So I think the only people that can reply to Jason Calacanis are people who subscribe to his Twitter, because Twitter's got like a subscription type of thing similar to, you know, Patreon and shit, where if you want to, you can subscribe to certain people who have, you know, subscription enabled. So Jason only allows subscribers to reply. So you can imagine there's not going to be a lot of people who are going to subscribe to people's Twitter on social, right? It's not a thing. It's not really as popular as maybe, you know, memberships on here, subscription on other streaming platforms or Patreon and shit. So you're going to be limited in the amount of replies you get. So it's a way to close your replies without closing your replies. But the thing that I love the best about social media and the internet, despite him doing that, the people who pay to follow him basically still replied and still tore him a new arsehole. That was so good, so gratifying to hear. So gratifying to see people call him out in the most respectful way possible. So let me go through the replies so we can show you what I'm talking about. So this person's bullwashing him. This person's sucking him off, so don't listen to him one. But let's skip away this one. This guy here. Nah, you gotta do it. The richest man in the world is beefing with the man with the most powerful political politician. Oh, let me say that again. Nah, you gotta do it. The richest man in the world is beefing with the man in the most powerful political position in the world, and you're not going to comment on it? Jason, you're better than this. This is a bad decision. And him, I'll probably say something on Monday on Twist. Bro, no one listens to Twist. It's his show called This Week in Startups. No one listens to that shit. You've got fucking a million ads on that fucking dumb show. No one's listening to that shit. People want to hear you say, or your opinion, and you and Shamath and all those other fucking nonsense guys on your fucking main show. Not fucking Twist. Another person. You can't expect to retain much legitimacy if you don't post a pod. When the going gets awkward, you just hide. Love you, your biggest fan. He says, my choice is to take a beat, which is the right decision for me. Yeah, because you're a coward. That's why. You're a fucking coward. Another one. Translation. David Sachs and Shamath didn't want to talk about it because it's inconvenient and counter to everything they talked about in recent months. And they also don't want to risk not getting any more tours of the White House. Exactly. That's the best one. That is the fucking best one. Big up Devin Gould. Another person. All in eroded a lot of trust and brand value by not commenting on this, unfortunately, in my opinion. Tough to go full out politics pod and then silence when it hits close to home. Another good one. Exactly. Because all in podcasts, again, not to give you guys don't probably care about this, but you know, I'm a bit of a startup tech fan, as you guys can tell by my past love for Elon. So all in podcast kind of like does a good job of filling that niche, because you know a lot of the guys are involved in tech. A lot of the guys were, you know, angel investors, have sat on boards of some of the biggest companies that we all kind of know and love, and that they're part of Silicon Valley. They're in that fucking world, so it's kind of cool to kind of get some of that information from them, because you don't really get that sort of information from people that are actually on the field, on the front lines, in pod forms anymore, really, aside from interviews. So it's quite good to have like a weekly show where they can talk about the ongoings of like, oh, this company IPO'd, this company got bought out, this company went bankrupt, this company launched this new service. It's cool to kind of hear that and it not be just some whiny upspeak journalist kind of guy. So the show used to be quite good, but similar to the comedy podcast, guess what happened? Similar to the fucking stand-up comedy podcast that we all talk about, they started to get political. I think around COVID, all in podcasts died around COVID. COVID happened, and then suddenly these guys start talking about it being not real, it's fake, the lockdown doesn't work, send everyone back to schools, herd immunity, who cares about the numbers, all this sort of nonsense, right? Which obviously turned a lot of people off. And then they started to really super lean into the right wing thing. And now it's become incredibly hard to listen to, because all they do is fucking suck off anybody that's a Republican, suck off anything to do with Elon without no critical thinking, without no fucking, you know, without removing any of their biases. It's fucking annoying. So it's cool to see them getting called out from time to time like this. It really is. Especially people like this, because they're super wealthy. They're not even rich. They're super wealthy, these guys. So there's not really much you can do to them, right? So calling them out and essentially, you know, accusing them of being cowards, because they are, is probably the nearest you're going to get to actually inflicting some level of harm. Another one says here, How to not be the #1 podcast in the world. Love you guys, but this is a mistake. It's one thing to not involve sex, but then decide can't talk about it. Okay. Wow. Okay. We have the important conversations, just not the tough ones. Exactly. Sounds like Shamath and Sax and Co talked you out of it. Sad. Weak, another person says. Exactly. Growing up, we just called it supper. So no pod this week at all. Not even one that skirts around the incredibly large and awkward elephant in the room. Exactly. What are you guys going to go to Jaco, Jason, and all the route? We've all been waiting patiently for this episode. Historically, we've been many such episodes where things have fizzled out later on. That should not prevent you folks from providing some commentary on the podcast episode. One way or another, you guys have to discuss it on the next episode. Exactly. Do we have to admit that we're not addicted to the pod? Bad move having no pod this week. So yeah, glad Jason got called out. Fuck Jason CALACANSIS, fucking coward. You should have just did the fucking podcast, mate. It's not that big of a deal. It's only Trump, it's only Elon. Relax, okay? Talking about big deals. This is my big deal. Have you guys seen this? Allegedly, in the UK, because only you guys get these sort of deals in America, but somehow, somewhere, there is a deal currently going on at fucking KFC for 20 hot wings for $7.99. 20 hot wings for £8. Just saying those words is making my mouth and my lips water, right? It's making my mouth water. Big up fucking Tyler. Big up Tiger. Big up Tyler. Big up Tyler. Big up Tiger. It's making my mouth water. I cannot wait to sample, to grip those fucking luscious, mostly batter covered wings into my big black lips sometime this week. Don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. And I might be so big backed. That I get 2 buckets. I might be so big backed that I get 2 fucking buckets. And I wash it all down with a Rubicon. Big up the mango Rubicon drinkers. I wash it all down with a fucking Rubicon mango. I might be so big backed that I fucking get 2 buckets, a 1 liter bottle of Rubicon mango, preferably the still one, not the fizzy one. If I have to get a fizzy drink, then I'll probably switch and get a fucking orange juice and just wash this down. It's happening. Okay? I know this doesn't make any sense to you guys, but I'm always jealous whenever I see some of these food deals on social media, and they always happen to be for people across the pond. We never get those kind of food deals here. Like recently, was it Popeyes or somebody announced some chicken wrap? You remember that chicken wrap, right? You guys remember the chicken wrap? There's some chicken wrap you guys have got over there. We ain't got it. We ain't got the fucking chicken wrap. But they obviously introduced it over there. So now that we have something that's seen specific to the UK, I am buying a bucket. Maybe dos buckets. Maybe dos buquetos. I'm going to be smothering my lips all over that fucking chicken, okay? Just you wait. Just you fucking wait. And then I saw this clip, right? Somebody shared. Look at this clip somebody shared. Look at this. Somebody shared.
Powerful bunch.
Hey, big up Abe Martinez. Wagwan.
Discussing booba gross.
Powerful bunch.
Hear you big back. Elongated back. Extra larger back. Supreme back. Double back. Dave Blunt's back.
Supreme box logo back ass. Yo, I'm gonna have to start walking into rooms backwards. I'm gonna start having to walk into room backwards now, you know? That's how I'm gonna start walking into rooms. Big up Asad Aziz.
He can't put down the cup or the buckets apparently.
We're out here, buckets and cups. Hey, big up Nicky HSG in the chat. Wagwan, Big Nick, Wagwan. What's that? Do they have B dubs in Britain? What's a B dub? I don't know what's B dubs. Get us B dubs. Big up my nuts. We're not surprised. Big up Big Tech. Wish you could experience a KFC double down. Oh, is the double down that thing with the bun is 2 chicken fillets? Is that what we're talking about? Is that it? Big up Case of Moses. Big up chat. Big up chat. Big up chat. Big up chat. Big up pre-ban for local too. Wild one, GG. Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, is that B Dubs? Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay. Never heard of that, to be fair. Never heard of Buffalo Wild Wings. Never heard of Buffalo Wild Wings. Big up Shades Cow. Big up Jaded too. Big up Mr. Bob too. Big up Coiler. Dave Bucks is crazy. To be fair, how big is Dave Blunt anyway? What size is he? Do you know in pounds? Is he 500 pounds? Is he bigger than Wings of Redemption? I'm not really sure. I can't really think in my head how big he actually is, number wise.
Powerful bunch.
Just look really big on the internet. Big up Shades Car.
Oz, when you get to KFC, tell them to make it to order.
Yeah.
Get it fresh, and it's about 10 to 15 minute wait. No paper plates, POS.
Ah, make it cool. When you get to take it, make it fresh. Okay, cool. I'll do that. I will do that. Make it fresh for me. I'm happy to wait, sis. You know what I mean? When some of my sisters, I'll be like, hey, make it fresh for me, sis. I'm happy to wait. Don't worry, I'm happy to wait. Make it fresh for me. Make it fresh for me. He's a size 28 dress is hilarious. We got Kiss of Moses. About the same size as you. He might be the same size as me, but I can definitely beat him in a race. That's for sure. I'm definitely sure I could beat him in a race. 100% I could beat him in a race. 100% I can beat that man in a race. 1,000,000%. In a foot race. Yeah, get me? Big up Big Buff. His pickup forklift heavy is hilarious. I believe it's called morbidly
Powerful
obese
bunch.
Oz on a streak. It's a bad day to be a KFC bucket.
KFC bucket hates it when they see me coming. Huh? KFC bucket hates when they see me coming. Big up Keepy. £600. So do we think he's £600 for real? Do we think so? Do we think he's actually £600? Young old vibes. I'm sorry. I'm off the Don Julio. Fuck off. Don't blame the alcohol. Come on. Don't blame the alcohol. You're always like this. You're always a meanie about the Don Julio. Get out of here. Fuck off. Big up young old vibes. But yeah, look at this person. This person said in throwback to 2020 when he got given 40 wings by accident for $5.99. Somebody got 40 wings for $5.99. By the way, eating wings with a Magnum is fun. I just saw the drinks on the table. Eating wings with a fucking tonic wine is fucking insane. Not gonna lie. That's a wild boy. Wings with tonic wine is fucking a wild boy. But yeah, I'm gonna get that done. I'm gonna get that done this week. I'm gonna go get some fucking wings this week. So yeah, man, we're here. We're getting the fucking wings. We're getting the fucking big wings. We're getting the big blood clot wings. Yeah, I've been sampling a lot of that Coke Zero Diet Pepsi shit. It's actually pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. I think I prefer it. I generally don't drink fizzy drinks anyway. Like I only ever drink a fizzy drink if I'm eating fast food. I don't ever really drink it for my spare time because my belly's a bit, it's a bit weak in terms of handling all those bubbles. But if I do ever drink a soft drink, Coke Zeros and stuff are so it's amazing. It's sensational how much better they are than regular Cokes. I don't care what anyone says. A Coke Zero with some ice is infinitely better than a fucking regular Coke. I'd go as far as saying a Coke Zero is better than a Diet Coke. That's my hot take. I think a Coke Zero is actually better than a Diet Coke. On God. And this comes from a person who can't drink fizzy drinks. But hey, what do I know? The only thing that's not good anymore, which I don't know if it's like a thing with age when you grow out of it, one thing that doesn't hit the same, Cherry Coke or Cherry Fanta. Not sure if you guys have it. I'm sure you guys have it over there. Cherry Coke doesn't hit the same way it used to hit when you were a kid. When you first had Cherry Coke for the first time, whoa, that blew your fucking head off. Like, wow, it's so sweet and sugary and cherry. Do you know what I mean? It's not the same. It's not the same, man. But anyway, what can you do? Yeah, big up Young Vibes, Pepsi gang. Yeah, big up Kendall. Yeah, what are you saying? You got to get the fountain drink. Yep. Do the Euros have Baja Blast? Do we have Baja Blast? Is that a drink? Big up pre-bound for local. What's Baja Blast? Baja Blast. What the fuck is that? Nah, I've not seen that before. Is that a Mountain Dew drink? I've never seen that. What's that taste like? What's that? Is that lemonade? Pineapple, Fanta, Pepsi, lemon. Oh, Pepsi lemon was crack, yeah, but Coke, yeah, exactly. Oh, Pepsi lemon, good one. Big up, big buff. Pepsi out of the can is undefeated. Yeah, true. Pepsi out of the can is undefeated. It tastes like freedom. Big up Asad Disease. It tastes like freedom. Is hilarious. We don't even have root beer here. Yeah, true. Yeah, we don't have root beer. True. Good point. Good point. Good fucking point. Yeah, they have great root beers in America, innit? That's a fucking good point. Fuck. Tastes like the best pussy you ever had, Big up Cola. AZ gets so excited when you can Google food. Yeah, man. Why not, man? What would you rather? Me Google food or we watch Kill Tony? Huh? What would you rather? Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you fucking wish for. Be careful what you mock. What would you rather? I Google fucking food or we watch Kill Tony? Huh? Or r/stand-up comedy? Huh? What would you rather? Oh, mate. Anyway, let's continue. Let's do the stop. First things first, let's go over something. Let's go over first episode. Let's do this one. Let's do Joe Budden says Rory fired Julian and cut him out of volume. Let's try this one first and then we can go into other stuff. Big up Danny from the stop. He covers a lot of Joe Budden's type stuff, so he spoke a little bit about this issue. I think this is an actual, if I'm not mistaken, I think this clip is from a Spaces that Danny did with Joe Budden. I think so. Because Joe's one of those weirdos that jumps on Spaces with these fans, but then when his fans say, but then other times when fans say stuff he don't like, he'll get on the pod and act like none of the hosts should be on Spaces because it devalues a brand or the fans don't deserve to talk to you, all this sort of nonsense. So he talks out both sides of his mouth. One time the Spaces are bad, next time he's on those Spaces talking because guess what? He's an attention seeker. He loves it. But anyway, the title of this video is Joe Budden says Rory fired Julian and cut him out of the volume deal. And you guys know what's going on with Julian. I covered it already in the previous previous stream, sorry. There should be a clip on my channel now where it kind of speaks about the whole issue. But essentially, Rory and Moore, who were Joe Budden podcast hosts, have gone on to do their own podcast called New Rory and Moore. They had a producer on there called Julian. Julian was doing quite a lot on the show in terms of co-hosting and producing the show. I think he then suggested or, asked for a raise or something or more involvement. The guy said no. And then he left, and of course, it turned into a bit of a beef and back and forth. Standard sort of shit happens with podcasts these days. But obviously, Joe's taking some glee in it because when he fired Rory and Moore, or when he fired, when he fired Rory more so and Moore left, people were making it seem like he was a bad guy, which he is. He is the bad guy, right? He's some fucking awful guy. He's the reason why I don't listen to Joe on the podcast anymore. He's a fucking dickhead. But he didn't like being seen as a bad guy. So now every time something goes wrong or something goes awry with New Rory and Moore podcast, Joe takes a lot of glee and joy in seeing them kind of suffer. So this is what we're going to get. Anyway, long story short, let's play the clip.
Joe Budden says Rory snaked Julian and fired him before he got the big deal.
If Rory is not my son, that fired Julian right before the big deal came. Rory be pulling out of my playbook, boy. Oh, man. Do you think Rory...
I don't think that's funny, though. So he's laughing and saying that Rory did something that he would have done out of my playbook, like fire somebody just before the big deal comes. Why would that be a funny thing? Why is that something to laugh and joke about? One of the heartbreaking things about the Joe Budden podcast ending the way it did was that some of us fans, myself included, we bought into the idea that all these guys were friends and they were kind of coming up together, right? They were sort of grafting from the ground up and essentially building this kind of, for lack of a better term, multi-million-dollar media empire that they could all kind of like, get rich off of and, support their family and shit. So it was quite cool as a fan to see them do it, to kind of support them when they were like in that tiny room, I think in Parks' house, all the way to like a proper studio. Like, oh shit, look at the fucking show evolving. Obviously, the circumstances that led to Rory and Moore leaving showed you that for whatever reason, Joe didn't look at them as friends or didn't really value their friendship enough to maybe speak to them a different way, maybe go about doing things a different way. He kind of treated them like employees and kind of scummed them. So much so, by the way, people forget this. He scummed them so bad, even Kevin Hart came out and criticized Joe Budden during that time. And I think that probably must have hurt him. Back then, Kevin Hart basically said, yeah, this guy's an awful dude. He doesn't really help his friends out or sort his friends out. He throws them under the bus. He cuts them off like that, like awful. Like even Kevin Hart wasn't cool with what Joe did. So Joe saying this in a kind of like sarcastic, funny way is just, you know, more evidence that he's a piece of shit.
Claps back.
I think Rory will clap back in the way that he always claps back.
Ignoring people or passive aggressiveness.
Nah, when he said that I got paid $40,000, that you piled up crazy.
He planted it. He planted a seed. It worked for a month or two.
That means it worked.
It worked for. It was a small tree. It was a small plant.
You might plant a seed.
And he's basically saying that when during the back and forth, Rory did do something quite smart. When they were having their back and forth, like soon after this pod split up, in the aftermath of it, Rory revealed that Joe was paying them a certain amount. I think it was like 40 grand or something. And obviously during that time, the co-hosts that Joe Budden got to replace Rory and Moore were going through their own contract issues or unhappiness with the money they were getting paid for Joe Budden podcast. So when they heard Rory say he used to get 40 grand, you know, it put some things into motion. It made them start to look at Joe a different way. Obviously, he read it out because it's Joe. He's a fucking sicko. So he found a way to kind of sliver his way out of it. But there was a time where that caused a big ruckus over there on the JVP.
I think he's gonna plant a seed with Julian, and I think it might grow.
Yes, on a recent Twitter space, Joe Budden commented on the ongoing saga between Julian and Rory and Mal. Julian was a producer for the Rory and Mal show.
Yo, big up Young Old Vibes. I was heartbroken and feel like my parents divorced. That's what people don't understand, right? As maybe sarcastic or as whatever, as hyperbolic that could be, that's the truth. It was weirdly heartbreaking because the weird thing about it was that you were invested in a journey, I think in part because Joe was so unlikable. Like I never was the biggest fan of Joe Budden, the media personality before the JVP. I liked him as a rapper. I thought he's fucking phenomenal. Still think he's a great rapper now. But I never was into him as a media person, from his reality TV stuff to the fact that he loved to like go back and forth and argue with women and shit. Loads of stuff that I didn't really like, right? He's kind of got moist tendencies. So it wasn't a guy for me. But I did like to see him kind of rehabilitate his image in real time in front of the public on the Joe Budden podcast, or what before it was called Our Name Is Podcast Later, with the help of his friends. Because you got to see, oh, this is why people maybe like Joe behind the scenes. Because when you see Joe on social, or you see Joe going viral, or whatever online, he comes across a certain way. Like he comes across like a bit of a cunt. But when you see him hanging around with people on the show who seem quite normal, well adjusted, and he's laughing and they get each other's humor and they're kind of ripping into him a little bit, and he's like, you know, he takes the humor well, you start to think, oh shit, this guy maybe isn't too bad. So when the split happened, it kind of reaffirmed to you, oh no, he's always been a dick. So my initial feeling that this guy's a dick was true, because he even scummed his own best friends, or you know, he's really good friends, not say best friends, but he even scummed his friends. So when you saw that, I was like, oh. But then to be fair to Joe Budden, because I'm being a little bit, you know, to be fair to Joe Budden, yes, he scummed Rory and Moore, but since then, especially in the urban space, it's quite commonplace for people to scum each other. I don't know what it is. I've spoken about it before on this particular stream that I do. I don't understand why so many urban black, brown folk around the world who are maybe involved in the hip hop space and do podcasts, who have the ability to change their lives and support their family and kind of do it with the support of their friends or people that they've known for a long time. I don't understand why they just can't figure out their issues. I can't think of a single podcast, maybe with the exception of like Horrible Decisions, but I can't think of a single urban based podcast, let's say English speaking one, where the host had an argument, had some sort of falling out, and they reconciled. Maybe Brilliant Idiots is one. Maybe Brilliant Idiots, because I remember there was a time where Schultz and Charlemagne weren't getting along. But I can't think of a single urban podcast where they had an argument, had a falling out, but they reconciled and just got back to doing the fucking podcast. For some reason, they can't do it. Every time they beef, they fall out. And someone gets fired, someone gets cut off. Then it becomes a fucking... Then the content thing starts of like trashing the podcast you were on before. They can't seem to figure out. And it's just so annoying, because a lot of these shows are made worse when they break up. I listen to Rory and more than I listen to Joe Budden podcast, because I hate Joe. I can't hear his voice, so I don't listen to that show anymore. But it's no, you know, the truth is Rory and Moore it pales in comparison to what Joe Budden was in his peak. So new Rory and Moore show has suffered because Joe's not on it. Joe Budden podcast suffers because Rory and Moore's not on it. If these guys just fucking grow up and put the differences to one side and just talk it through, everything will be fine. But they can't. I don't know what it is about urban podcasts and not being able to just sort through their issues.
But over the end of 2024, they would decide to fire Julian, seemingly after he asked for a raise or because of the lack of work that was going on behind the scenes. I don't know what was going on, but there was something happening. And Joe Budden would say that Rory and Mal fired Julian because they got the big volume deal.
People are saying in the stream chat, big up, was it? To be fair, Budden pocketing all the money because he's stingy. I think Young was I mentioned something as well about the money. I'm gonna, as much as I dislike Joe Budden, I'm gonna cut Joe Budden a bit of slack here, and I'm gonna say I'm not too sure if it's Joe Budden stealing the money or if it's Joe Budden doing what's that podcast I listen to, Filthy Fellas, where maybe where Joe has the card and he kind of pays with his stuff using the company card type of thing. I could see that happening. Also, I think that profit split thing gives you an opening. Like if you agree, because if I'm not mistaken, Rory and Moore decided not to get paid via salary on Joe Budden. They got paid in terms of a profit split. So whatever the Joe Budden podcast made, they'll get split of those profits based on what percentage they agreed on. But I think that deal is open for scamming, is open for finagling, is open to skullduggery, especially if you don't show the person the numbers or the data, whatever, behind why you got to that number. You know, if you just keep sending them money, but you're not showing them any of the fucking data, then how are they meant to know that you're actually giving them what they're actually worth or the correct amount? You get me? So I think that's what probably happened. Probably Joe using the company card to pay for things on his own, and obviously the profit split thing also kind of favoring him because I'm not saying you can decide what the profits are, but you can kind of finagle it. I would say you can probably finesse that more so than a set salary, which is there in black and white. But did he take out 400 grand and pocket himself? I'm not too sure. But did he fucking move money around and do some dodgy shit like that? I probably think he did that.
Yes, that's right. Right after Rory and Mal fired Julian.
That's the one, Young Advice. Cook the books. That's the term. Exactly. I think it's way easier to cook the books if you do profit splits. Just from my, rudimentary understanding of how fucking finances and shit and payroll and that shit works. I think it's far easier to cook the books if you profit split than it is to just give somebody a salary. But obviously, if you're the person getting the money, you're likely to get way more. Your ceiling is like limitless, basically. You have no ceiling if it's profit split. But like I said, you can still get scammed.
They signed a deal with Colin Cowherd's The Volume, who also seemingly has a partnership with iHeart, and it was just an interesting foray into kind of the politics. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's true, but it is Joe Budden trying to usurp the narrative that he was the bad guy in their breakup. And I mean, I guess it's a good job by.
To be fair, I get what he's trying to do, but two things can be right. Maybe they did fire Julian before the fucking volume split came, before the volume deal came. Maybe they did. Maybe Rory and Moore did think Julian was getting above his britches and doing too much, so they fired him before the volume deal came in. Is that scummy? Is that a bad mind? Probably. But are they in the rights to do so? Yeah, most so. But it doesn't make what Joe Budden's been accused of not true, right? He's acting as if because what Joe Budden does, I think he's done this before in the past, is that Joe's got this thing where because he's quite a messy dude and quite like an awful person, right? I think he thinks or he believes that everybody has that in them. People just play a certain way. He doesn't really. I don't even think he believes there's good people. I think he intrinsically believes everybody would do whatever he's done in life if they're presented with the option to. So I think deep down he feels as if other people had the option or had the opportunity to scam or to hustle or to finesse the books, even if they're working with their friends, they would do it. So when he hears of Rory and Moore firing Julian before that deal came in, he's like, you see, everyone does it. It's not like he's trying to excuse his behavior. He's just trying to say, I do it because I'm just a reflection of everybody else. I'm just more upfront or I'm just more of a outward dickhead. Everybody else probably hides it a bit more. But I don't even believe that to be true either. You know what I mean? You could just be an awful person. Like, you're allowed to you could just be an awful person all on your own, as opposed to just pointing fingers at others and make other people getting involved. Fuck that.
By him, because Rory and Mal, they've dealt with a lot of issues in terms of people leaving their show. There was Carl, who lost the cameras. Then there was Julian, who got let go. And there was a couple people behind the scenes. Now, I'm not going to say that folks like Yomi or Rel were actually dismissed or if they left because of the toxic work environment, but there was just a lot of turnover at the Rory and Mal podcast.
But that makes sense though, isn't it? It's their first time, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't this their first business? I'm pretty sure this is definitely Mal's first thing, because Mal is like, you know, he kind of grew up rich, you know, with his brother involved in Rockefeller and shit. I don't think Mal's ever had a job. So this is their first time actually running a business, running a show together, whatever. So it's probably going to have a lot of, you know, growing pains, issues to kind of get it sorted. And a lot of those names he mentioned previously, one guy, he punched Julian in the face. Was it? I don't know if it was during a recording. No, it was when they were out one day. They had some sort of disagreement or whatever, and he punched Julian in the face. Of course you have to get fired for that. You can't come back to work. One of the other guys, if I'm not mistaken, I forgot his name, but I think one of the guys involved in Rory and Mal behind the scenes, he left a camera bag in like an Uber or like an Airbnb and it got stolen. Like, he just forgot it. And he was the one in charge of that sort of shit. So of course you get fired too. So I think everyone so far's firing has been justified, or the ones that have left, you know? So it's a bit unfair to be like, oh, because it's turnover, that must mean they don't know how to like lead or manage a company. If anything, I think they've done a good job, because I think everybody that's left has had a disagreement with them. Like, even with this, even he hasn't really come out and said nothing. That guy who punched Julian, and he's the one, you know, and he's probably got more reason to be upset because he probably felt justified punching Julian at the time. But I don't think it's fair to kind of say that they are bad leaders or business owners because of that turnover, when it's their first time doing it, and the people that left, you know, I think they had justified reasons for letting them go.
On top of that, there was Eden, who had to be let go from the show because he punched Julian. So there is a lot of turnover at the Rory and Mal podcast.
We got Keta Moses. Damaris needs her own show. Maybe not yet, but down the line. No, I don't think so. I think there's a talent and there's a gift in being a good B mic. And I think she's a great B mic. Is that even a B mic? Whatever she is, co-host. She's amazing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think every person that's great behind the scenes, or like, you know, one of those kind of side co-host people, need to also have their own show. Julian's a good example. Julian worked amazing on the new Rory and Mal pod. His contrast with those guys, because he comes from a little bit more of a, dare I say, whitewashed background. So his kind of influences and stuff, that interest that he was into, his humor even, it kind of balanced and it kind of contrasted well with the other guys. So I think it's perfectly fine for Damaris to stay where she is, be the producer / on-air host as well, B mic, A mic, whatever, C mic, wherever she is, because she shines. And it also helps because she works with two guys. She kind of comes from it, you know, as a woman, from that point of view. She also has different favorites in terms of artists, different fucking worldviews and shit, different age. I think it's good that she's on the show. She shouldn't try go and do her own show. Hope she does anyway. Hope she doesn't. Just stay there and smash that, because you're doing well there.
Podcast, and none other than Joe Budden is enjoying it. Another thing Joe Budden did was call Rory his son. Now, over the last 6 months, Rory has been catching the eye of Joe Budden, and Joe has been championing him, acting like he's the best podcaster he ever met. But you see with this statement that it's really all just posturing and an attempt by Joe Budden to divide Rory and Mal, because as I have unearthed in previous episodes, especially around the time of the breakup, Joe Budden always was making Rory seem like a snaky white boy who was upending the structure of his podcast. But now, several years removed, he's acting like Rory was the best thing since Game Boy. And Mal was,
and that's the thing that's funny about this. It's like, that's how you can tell that Joe, it still stings him the way they left, and it not even stings the way he left. I think it stings him more that Joe was seen as a bad guy, because I don't think Joe's got a problem with firing people and whatever. But I think it stung him more that those two guys left who were a big part of the Joe Budden podcast, and then he was seen as a bad guy. I think that really, really upset him. And this shows because he can't stop firing shots. He doesn't miss an opportunity to fire a little fucking subtweet here and there, or a little sneak this here and there. He loves it. And obviously it goes to show that they were actually friends too. Despite what Joe would say, I don't owe my friends. I don't owe my friends anything. All those fucking dumb statements he would say, to paraphrase. He definitely did. He definitely does miss them as friends, which makes sense because they built something from the ground up. Like they went from being, you know, in that small room in Parks' house with Joe wearing fucking dirty fucking wife beaters to, you know, having a podcast that generates millions and shit. So they were building from the ground up, and they were friends before that too, hanging out with each other, especially Rory and Moore, especially Joe and Moore. Sorry. So it makes sense why he is clearly still affected, still hurt, which is why he's sending shots. But he thinks he's like owning them when really he's just exposing how much he really misses them.
Was the one that dictated the terms, because back then Joe Budden was saying he wanted to talk to Maul. He loved Maul. He wanted to speak with Maul when Rory wasn't present, but Maul would make things impossible as Joe Budden would unearth some serious allegations towards Maul, making him appear to be lazy, making him appear to be too cool for school, and also making it look like he was a broke bum who lived off of him for years.
And also this Maul lazy thing. Personally, I don't like the idea that he's turning up to his own podcast 2 hours late and with staff there waiting for him. That's a bit fucked up. But Joe was working for Maul for a long time, essentially enabling a lot of his behavior and not really calling it out. But in like when you get down to the brass knucks of it, it's like it's podcasting. You record a podcast. Like, relax. The whole reason why you're doing it is so that you don't have to work a regular job. You're doing it so that you can kind of, you know, move to the beat of your own drum. Number one, you enable the guy anyway because you didn't call him out on it and set some clear boundaries and some rules about when people should come in and when shouldn't come in. So he carries on that behavior. And number two is a fucking podcast. But then years later, you are not allowed to come back and say, oh, this guy's lazy. Well, he was lazy when he was on your show too. You didn't say nothing then, did you? You didn't call him out then. So fuck off with all that shit.
And I think for Maul, that was a bridge too far. So Maul would cut him off with the ease. And I think that shocked Joe Budden. So he pivoted towards acting like he wasn't cool with Maul and embracing Rory.
Yeah, that definitely hurt. And I know, big up, Mr. Studio Girl. Big up, Mr. Studio Girl. Big up, Mr. Studio Girl. Appreciate you. I don't know what happened there. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I definitely feel like Maul cutting off Rory the way he did. No, Maul cutting off Joe the way he did definitely stung. Because I have done that myself in the past. Or I generally do that, especially if I don't really have a lot of big group of friends anyway. But I'm also not somebody that does the whole like spinning the block thing. You know, if you show me who you are, or if we fall out, and I deem you to be the bad person or the bad guy, there's no turning back. You know what I mean? Like it's just done forever. And unfortunately or fortunately, because of my undiagnosed ADHD, I can sometimes like completely forget somebody's name. It gets that bad. Like I'll delete the person in my brain. I'll forget they even exist, and I'll literally forget what even their name is. And that can be really cutting to somebody who thinks you're always going to come back, who thinks there's always going to be a way back in, who thinks there's always going to be the door left ajar, when you simply don't even holler back. But the thing is, you don't change your number. You don't change your number. You don't block them on social. You just keep it the way it was. You know what I mean? You don't even unfollow. Me, I don't even unfollow people. You know what I mean? I'm not even that type of person. I'm not some fucking GAY sitting around fucking checking who follows me and not. It's not that deep. But you just leave it like that. You don't even say nothing back. That especially with somebody like a Joe Ego, a narcissist like Joe, that's gonna really eat away at his soul. Like you're not even trying to reach back out. You're not trying to mend bridges or whatever. You're just done. You just move on. That's gonna hurt.
As his bestie, but this just goes to show you, although that's fake, it's not true. None of it is real, and it's just Joe having a good old messy time. And we'll have to see how Julian, Rory, and Maul all respond to this, because I don't know if you guys know this. On the last episode of Julian's podcast, he did the most views he's done in I think a couple of months. He was doing like 500 views, 80 views. It was looking bad. And I mean, he looked like he was being affected by the whole situation in terms of what his mental health was going through. And I'm gonna be honest, things might fall through, but I'm gonna be, in the interest of transparency, I have an interview with both Julian and Rory coming up. I'm gonna be sitting in the studio talking to both of them. I'm gonna unearth the facts. If there's any questions you want me to ask either of them, let me know. The plan is for me to interview Rory, then interview Julian, then be on Julian's show. Something wrong with the pod.
I don't know. I'll leave it there. He's getting a bit annoying now. I don't think it's that deep, really. It's not really that deep. Why he got fired, why he got let go. If the true reason Julian got let go was because Rory and Moore couldn't offer him the on-air personality role that he wanted, and they just wanted him to be a producer, but he wasn't happy about that, then it's fair. Shake hands and move on. The last thing you want is somebody to ask for a promotion, then you not give it to them, and then them stay and be a disgruntled employee. It's probably for the best that you go somewhere else and try and make that happen for yourself. That's not a bad thing. If the truth is that maybe they just got annoyed with him and didn't like his personality, of course it's their pod as well. They can do what they want. But I don't think it's anything that deep or that serious that needs a fucking deep dive of 3 different interviews. It's like, it's just Julian, man. Like, he was good on the show. He worked well with them, but ultimately he's not really that interesting. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care that much. And also maybe the reason behind it isn't that interesting. He asked for a promotion. He wanted to do more. He felt like he was worth more, which I encourage all the time and I always champion. I think especially in the arts or entertainment, whatever, people can be a little bit shy when it comes to asking for money, when it comes for, you know, asking for promotion, when it comes to putting yourself out there. The fact that Julian backed himself and said, yeah, I think I'm doing a lot for this show. I should be this and that. Maybe increase my fucking compensation. The fact that he did that deserves some credit. He didn't get it. Cool. But just move on, bro. It's not that deep, really. It really isn't that deep. But hey, it's a content game, innit? It's a content game. It's a content game. Let's go. Schaub Show, episode number 438. Let's do a little Schaub Show watch along. Let's do a little Schaub Show watch along. Big up everybody in the stream chat that's hanging in there. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Apologies for the late earlier on, but we're still here. If you like what you're seeing, you see what you like the stream down below. Don't be a fucking lame. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to help out the channel. And of course, we're trying to hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. So if you want to join and become a member, link in the description. You can give the membership. You can opt in for a membership. All that good shit. Link in the description. Fucking icon down there in the fucking chat box. You know what to do. Let's fucking roll. Schaub Show episode number 438. Let's see what this guy is saying, right? Texas studio vibes. Texas studio vibes.
Yeah.
And you're here till
Thursday?
Yep. And then Jim, when do you move out here?
Whoopsie, wrong one. 438, wrong one.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
What's happening, fam? It is June 9th, 9:30 a.m. in humid, beautiful Austin, Texas. Here we are, kids. Still doing some tweaks here and there on the studio, but it is coming together, man. This thing's a rocking and a cruising. This thing is a cruising. Thanks for coming along on this journey all the way to Austin, Texas. One thing.
Yo, those shorts are shorting, innit? Maybe if you got a camera like at that angle, maybe those type of shorts are a little bit too short for that angle. Maybe. Now, that's me. I'm a European, so I wear these type of shorts day to day, right? I'm wearing regular shorts day to day for the most part, right? I'm from Europe. But I think when you're recording a pod and the camera's kind of pointing in that direction, maybe longer shorts. Maybe cover your legs a little bit, you know? It's quite distracting. And you're clearly uncomfortable because you keep covering your legs anyway, you know? You're obviously uncomfortable. You keep covering your legs. But yeah, odd.
they didn't tell me about when I moved here is there's tarantula hawks. You ever see?
Why would anybody tell you anything about a place you're moving to? Why wouldn't you do the research to find out what's going on there? Again, maybe I'm the one that's dumb, but I truly don't think if I had a family, I would move somewhere without actually understanding where the fuck I was moving to, without sleeping over at that location for a week or a weekend, without visiting a place with my wife, with my kids even, and doing a walkthrough. I don't know, passing through the local fucking malls, going to the city center or whatever it may be, going to the fucking, I don't know, the best shop, the best restaurant, whatever. Just kind of getting lay of the land. It seems like he's finding out everything now, fresh. Which is okay if you're by yourself. If you're a single dude or you just got a girlfriend or a wife, that's fair if you're going by yourselves. But when you have kids, surely you have to do a little bit more recon. A tiny bit. Why is everything a surprise to him? Like, oh my God, guys, they have tarantulas in fucking Texas. Guys, it's so hot in Texas. Like, bro, why didn't you know this? Why didn't you do any research? Why are you finding everything right now? So fucking bizarre. Moving your family something like that and doing that is kind of insane.
Seen a tarantula hawk, Chin?
I saw them. We always like Googled them. They look gigantic.
We talked about them on Fire and the Kid. You know, we our boy Coyote Peterson got bit by one on the scale of pain. They do it. I think it's the Schmidt scale from 1 to 4. It's a 4. It's a 4. The executioner watch did beat it. I think maybe the bullet ant, but it's up there. It's up there. Yesterday, me and my family chilling in the living room. Donnie was outside doing whatever dogs do outside. And I thought it was a grasshopper. My girl's like, oh my.
Whatever dogs do when they're outside, man. I've never seen somebody that tries so hard not to love their dog, innit? He's such a weird individual, innit? I've never seen somebody try so hard not to just love their dog. Most people that have pets don't talk about their pets like that. You know, doing whatever dogs do when they're outside. That fucking shit. It's like, bruh, like, just love your dog. Let your guard down. Just love your fucking dog. It's not that deep. Love your fucking dog. Like, he proper acts like he doesn't. When deep down he does. Like, God forbid that dog passes away. He guy's gonna be bawling out of control. But he is acting like, oh, dogs doing whatever dogs do.
My God, what is that? I'm like, it looks like a drone. I think he got a hold of a drone. And so we go out. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I was like, no, it's fine. It's just grasshopper. You can play with the grasshopper. I keep looking. I'm like, that thing has like abs. Clearly a TRT wasp. It was gnarly looking. The bit, I mean, 4 inches probably, 3.5. It's huge.
Scary.
Huge. So definitely could have killed Donnie. Better him than the kids. Kids were in the pool. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, get back in the pool. It was like freaking pure chaos. I couldn't, it was either him or the dog, man. And I chose the dog. So I had to take that freaking TRT wasp out, man. And I hit him with a shoe and he just freaking, bring it. And then finally I got him.
I'd be too freaked out to freaking hit it because.
Oh, Casey's gone. Casey's gone. Oh, Casey's gone, guys. No more Casey. No more Casey. Chin is all there by himself. Chin has to, honestly, man, prayers for Chin, innit? I know some of you don't like to have sympathy for Chin or any empathy for Chin, but prayers for Chin. Just think about it. He has to podcast. He has to stream. He has to record podcast episodes with Brian and Brendan all by himself. No Sanaz. No Sanaz dogs for distraction. No fucking Casey, the black guy, the other dude. It's just him. Brutal. Fucking brutal. Fucking brutal. No one to just have a little chit chat with, a little bit of, in studio gossip. No one to complain about your manager with. It's just him.
Because if I mess up.
Oh, yeah. If you hit him and you know when you hit most bugs, it's like, it's game over. The splat. Not this one, bro. He was wobbled, though. I had him out on his feet. But he's like, oh, God, what's happening? And then the second one really did him in. But it was a fight. It was a fight. Nobody told me that. And then my thinking goes, okay, It's a tarantula hawk. What's he doing out here? Oh, well, they only eat tarantulas. So that means there's tarantulas near the house. I'll take a nice furry tarantula. That doesn't bother me. Better than black widows all up in LA. I had black widows up there, wazoo. But that tarantula hawk, that thing was scary. You look into them, though, they're pretty chill. Probably should have killed them. I was just, with a kid, it's right there, right on our deck. You can't have it. I hate killing anything, but you can't have tarantula hawks just chilling. Can't have it.
Not even bees or wasps. I don't like them. Like,
Nah.
Also, what's up with the table?
Hawks just chilling. Can't have it.
Not even.
Am I the only person, like, maybe I'm mistaken here, but don't most people who are into like AV, audiovisual shit, aren't they sticklers for like cable management and organization and shit? Isn't that like a big part of the job? Like having different trays for different things, one tray for leads, one tray for adapters, one tray for stand. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of finicky about that sort of shit. Everything needs to have a place. Everything needs to have an order and a place to it. Chin is just like, look at that table. Look at all that shit. Why is all that shit on the table? Why is all that camera equipment on the table? I see duct tape. I see cables. I see mounts. Like, why isn't that put away somewhere? Just put in a drawer, put in a box, put in a container. I don't know, maybe most people that are into this sort of stuff are into all of it, putting it away where it gets stored, organization, setup. But he doesn't seem to give a shit about that. He seems to enjoy this like organized chaos, I guess, where there's adapters and cables and this and that and lens covers. It's like, brother, man, just if you're not using this, put it away in it. Like, why is this all on the table?
Even bees or wasps, I don't like them. Like,
nah, we had the exterminator come because there was like a bunch of scorpions too. Like you just.
Oh yeah, okay. Thank God. Yeah. Big up your younger vibes. We told you he shocks at his job. Okay, fair play. Chin Spy, Mr. Bob. Big up James Banks. Thank you. I worked at a recording studio, and cable management was one of the biggest parts of the job. Oh, sorry, biggest parts of training. That's what I would have thought. I would have thought, like, working in a studio, one of the things that gets drummed into you is fucking tidiness. Like, you can't just leave the studio with, like, drinks everywhere and then come back the next day. You have to kind of wipe down, pack up, like, you know what I mean? That's, like, a big part of the fucking job. But I guess Chin missed out on that training.
Just, when you have kids, you can't have it.
Scorpions for sure.
If it was just me, man, let it ride. I like Jumanji style. I like to be on my, keep me on my toes when I walk outside. But tarantula hawk, I can't have it. I can't have it. I was proud of him, though. The thing was tough, man. That thing was freaking tough. Went to a great car show. The car scene here is wild, man. These boys are all about power out here. It's just all about crazy ass.
So that time that Joanna and the kids went to the barbecue, where did Brendan go? Did he go to a car show or was he with them? No, actually, I think he was with them. They just took the picture. I think he was with them. I'm about to say, like, it'll be really sad if we start seeing more pictures of Joanna by herself with the kids, acting like a single mum, and him just somewhere else. Surely he moved to Austin, Texas as well to essentially have some more family time because he's not got so many distractions that he did in LA. You can kind of be together a lot more. Hopefully we see more of that. We probably won't because Brendan secretly doesn't really like his family, but hopefully we see more of that.
Ass horsepower. Almost too much for me, but it's great. It's great. And then the fights, first pay-per-view, first major card.
Thank God no baseball talk. Oh, thank God. Because they moved the house or moved whatever, I'm assuming Tiger hasn't got a team yet. They haven't found this elite phenom player that is Tiger Schaub. They haven't found him a team just yet, which is, says all we need to know. But again, we're not denigrating children. We're more so pointing in the direction of Schaub because he's acting like this kid's the next, Anohi or Anohai, however you fucking say his name. When actually he's just a kid who just wants to enjoy playing some sports with his friends and maybe hanging out with his dad. And he's putting too much pressure on him. But the good thing is, we don't get a 20-minute segment about Tiger Schaub's fucking baseball. Thank God. Thank God.
In the house in Texas. And it was a good one. This card delivered, especially the main card. Yeah, the prelim delivered too, but the main card was fantastic.
Brendan's the only person involved in the UFC media-wise who hates prelims. He's such a bandwagon casual fan in that way. If it's not on the main card, he fucking hates it. Just because it's not on the main card. Not because the fights aren't good, but he just thinks if you're not on the main card, you simply don't matter. Which is fucking odd considering he's used to be a professional UFC fighter himself. You'd think he'd have a lot more respect for the entirety of the card and the work and the sacrifice and the training and the suffering and the pain that all those fighters have to go through to, you know, appear on that fucking card in the first place and show out. Nah. If it's not on the main card, if it's not glitzy, if it doesn't have all the lights, I don't give a fuck.
I was completely off when I told you that main event, co-main event could be 50 minutes of lay and pray. They showed up. You had some mismatch. You're
always off, bro. All your predictions are off. Every prediction of yours is off. Every one of your predictions is off.
Matches. That's pretty evident there. Kevin Holland looked fantastic. Kevin Holland at welterweight, dude. Quit messing around at 85. I know he's just about that money. He'll fight whoever in any weight class. He even said he'd fight at heavyweight, dude. At welterweight though, he's a top 10 guy. That dude's so skilled. To pull off what he did against Vicente Luque is insane. Vicente Luque's tough as fuck. Black belt jiu-jitsu. His anaconda choke is second to none. He hits it everywhere too. He looked great. I like the call out. Love the call out of Colby Covington. I'd love to see that fight. And then you got Mario Bautista and Patchy Mix. Now, a lot of hardcores were excited about Patchy Mix. And I put this on my IG story. I put this on my Twitter. A lot of people aren't going to agree with this, especially the old heads in the space, the old heads journalists. There's this narrative that's been going on for so long where, you know, when you find a local band, like a new band, and that's your thing, and you think you know about them and everybody else doesn't, and they're just as good as Blink-182, or they're just as good as...
Of course that's the band you compare them to, right? Of course. Everyone out there that has their favorite underground band is comparing them to Blink-182. That's what they're doing, right? Everyone that's out there listening to a garage band, to an that's what they care about. Are they better than Blink-182?
Or whatever big band. Oh, dude, these guys are better than Tool. You're like, okay, well, that's interesting. And this kind of this cool thing that you're in the know and nobody else is. That's kind of what goes on with these old head journalists who will tell you Patchy Mix is the best bantamweight on the planet. Insert Michael Venom Page is the best, fighter on the planet, even though he's not in the UFC. And don't get me wrong, no one criticizes UFC more than me, especially in the past. I'm with you. I get it.
No one criticizes the UFC more than me, especially in the past. So you don't criticize the UFC then. You don't get credit for criticizing UFC in the past, but then now ball washing and dick sucking Dana because he's super rich now and he hasn't failed the way you want him to fail. So now you have to suck him. You have no option but to deal with him in a way. So now you're sucking him off. You don't get credit for doing that. Like, fuck off. This guy, man.
They're the man. They're the freaking huge throne at the top. So it's fun to kind of, go at them. And I get all that. But for the longest time, Strikeforce is gone. Pride's gone. All that's gone. In the last 10 years, with the Bellators of the world, the PFLs of the world, the One Championships of the world, the Ryzens, all that stuff. Some of your favorite MMA, quote unquote, experts will tell you that guys from these other organizations can compete in the UFC and they're the best on the planet. And it couldn't be further from the truth. It's just not true. It's not true. It's not. They go, their UFC's getting them, past their prime. Even if they were in the prime, and we've had guys in the prime, and Patchy's not out of his prime. Chandler wasn't out of his prime. Pettis, when he came over, not Anthony Pettis, Sergio Pettis, when he came over, he came to the UFC. Then he went to Bellator, became a champ, but in the UFC didn't have much success. Will Brooks, I can give you a million examples of guys where it didn't work out, and you can give me one or two. Yeah, but what about who? Ben Askren?
I understand what he's trying to say, but it doesn't make any sense. It's almost as if he's trying to say that the UFC is the be-all and end-all when it comes to identifying talent, which isn't the case. UFC has signed a bunch of people from other organizations, other fight leagues that they wouldn't have discovered if they weren't fighting in other organizations. And then they brought them over.
Powerful bunch.
Yo, big up Young God Vibes. Oh, big up Young God Vibes. Appreciate you. Thank you for the 5 gifted bomber. Big up, blood clot, young old vibes. You're a fucking G. Appreciate you. Everyone that gets
Powerful bunch.
Everyone that gets a membership from fucking Young Old Vibes, make sure you thank the Queen. Make sure you thank the Blood Clot Queen. Thank you, Young Old Vibes. You're a legend. Appreciate that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so
Powerful bunch.
if the UFC were the be all and end all of talent identification, they would sign these fighters before they go to other fight leagues, but they don't. They have to go to other fight leagues, they make a bit of name for themselves, and then the UFC signs them and brings them over. Again, the other thing also has to be said
Powerful bunch.
is that there are some countries, some regions where the UFC isn't the #1 fucking organization, where the fighters there are equally as good, I think, as the ones that they have in the UFC. Not across the entire roster, of course not, but they definitely have some fighters that will probably give a lot of fighters in the UFC a bit of trouble. But I also don't understand it from just a point of view of a fighter. Like, Brendan got lucky, kind of, I guess, because he was in that fucking, what's that show called again? That got him a pathway into the UFC. But you'd imagine now, with the amount of fighters there are out there, with the amount of people practicing mixed martial arts, with the amount of different organizations out there, with the profile the UFC now has, it's probably, that's the Ultimate Fighter. Big up again, bro. He's an Ultimate Fighter, right? So Brendan got that pathway to get into UFC. But I'd imagine nowadays, it's probably harder than it's ever been to make it in the UFC. It must be super difficult because of the amount of people that are just doing it, right? And obviously the UFC has a very, very, very overinflated roster as it is anyway, right? And everyone's basically fighting for their supper. So it's like, you know, it's super high level. But the people that are also coming up and trying to get in are super high level themselves because, you know, people are learning how to fight, you know, practicing mixed martial arts younger and younger. There's a prevalence and there's an increase with the amounts of fucking gyms out there. So people have access to this sort of stuff, videos, all this malarkey. There is no, I don't think, any more secrets really in the world of mixed martial arts for the most part. You can get access to all the best coaches via a DM, via maybe a direct service and shit. Maybe some of them sell ebooks, all that malarkey. The knowledge and stuff is out there. People, the interest is out there. It's got a big profile. A bunch of fighters have become multi-millionaires off the back of it and shit. So if anything, this is probably the hardest time to be a UFC fighter. So you'd think, with Brendan being a former UFC fighter, he would be more encouraging of up-and-coming fighters to do whatever it takes to try and get to the UFC. Whether it's going to another fight league, whether it's going to another country, whether it's maybe fighting in another type of style, whatever. He would be encouraging of everyone because it's so hard to get in there. But essentially, Brendan's saying, if you don't fight in the UFC, you don't matter. You simply don't matter. There's no point of you even trying. You don't count. You don't count if you're not in the UFC. Which is fucked up because how else are you meant to get in the UFC if the UFC's already got a bloated, you know, overinflated fucking roster? How else are you meant to kind of make noise to get the attention of some of the people in charge of the UFC to get you over there if you're not fighting in other leagues, you know? So it doesn't really make any sense. I don't even believe the fact that all these other organizations are worse than the UFC. But even if they are, that's what they're there for. They're meant to be used as a stepping stone for you then to show your talent and then eventually get to the quote unquote big leagues. But in Brendan's case, it doesn't matter. If you're not in the UFC now, you simply don't matter. And also going back to it, this patchy mix guy that he fought, right? Patchy mix guy, he fought Bautista or whatever. Didn't this Bautista guy have like a 7-6 fucking fight win record or whatever? Undefeated. So he's acting as if the UFC don't give you any gimme fights. The UFC isn't other organizations. So he came into it and threw him right into the deep end and gave him a guy that hadn't lost in fucking ages. He was also clearly, you know, top class too. Maybe, you know, the bright lights, maybe the caliber competition, it kind of got to him. But to write the guy off after one fight is fucking insane. Brendan's writing this patchy mix guy off after one fight completely. He can't do it because he lost against somebody that that was undefeated in like 7 fights or something. Come on, man.
Which shout out to Ben Askren. Hopefully he's doing okay. We'll get to that when we go through the current events, but I absolutely adore him and praying for him and his family.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You just saw it on social media and you fucking liked the comment and you kept it moving. Shut up. You're not praying for nobody.
I love that guy. But the point is these guys and these journalists will tell you that these guys are just as good as UFC fighters, and it's not real. It's fun to say, and you're kind of in the know. And oh well, only the hardcores know this guy, and he can compete.
Oh, I see. Now I get at the heart of it. It's an insecurity. Now we're getting to the heart of it. Brendan doesn't like it when, I guess, hipster UFC fans start rallying behind fighters from other organizations, other leagues, other divisions, because it makes him feel inadequate because he doesn't watch anything else apart from the UFC, especially the main cards. Yeah, he's talking about Patchy Mix, yeah. So it makes him feel uncomfortable that he doesn't look at or watch anything else outside of the UFC. Even when he was getting paid by, what's that organization he was getting paid by? He didn't even watch that even. He didn't even watch those things. And obviously GFL has kind of gone under. But I think that's what makes him feel more uncomfortable, is the fact that he doesn't watch all these type of things. So then when those people do come into UFC, he takes some pride in the fact that, oh, what's the point of watching them because they're going to get mollywopped anyway, because the UFC is the be-all and end-all. Now we're getting to the heart of it.
In the UFC, and they can't. I've obviously I'm a homer, so I fought in the UFC. I've worked for a million other organizations. I've cornered guys in other organizations. There's nothing like the UFC. Just like there's nothing like the NFL, there's nothing like the NBA. The UFC is that league. Unless you're competing in the top of the tier league, you're not the best.
No, did somebody say they're the best, or did somebody say that they can compete? Do people think? I don't think there's a lot of people that think all these fighters from these other divisions have the opportunity to come in and just walk it and immediately get the belt. I don't think that's how they think. They just think they'd be good additions to that division. They'd make for interesting fights. They might eventually win the belt. But nobody's thinking whoever fights in the PFL or whatever is going to walk into the UFC and just moonwalk to a fucking title contention. Nobody with sense thinks that. They just think, oh, that guy's really good in their other organization. I'd love to see him fight in the UFC. That's where it starts and finishes. This guy or girl is fucking dog walking people in that division. I'd like to see them fight this person in this fucking organization. That's all they want to see. But Brendan's like, it's almost as if he's arguing a point that no one's actually making.
Even though you're dominating in this organization over here and you look like you could compete with the top 3, the top 2, maybe the champ in the UFC, you're not. You're not. So until you do it in the UFC, you're not the best. These are facts. Now again, whoever you listen to, whether it's
but that's also not fair, isn't it? Because some divisions, some weight divisions in the UFC are better than some divisions in other organizations and vice versa. Isn't that fucking Batista, the Patchy Mix division? What's that? That's like bantamweight. Isn't that one of the most stacked fucking divisions in the UFC? Isn't it one of the most stacked divisions? If Baptista, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he like ranked? I think I think Batista might be outside the top 5. I think Batista's outside the top 5, right? So if he's outside the top 5, just imagine who's in the top 5. Just imagine how good they are. If that guy that's outside the top 5 made light work of Patchy Mix in his first, who was champion in that division in fucking news organization. Do you get me? So I don't know. This guy's all over the shop.
Luke Thomas, insert whatever big name you want in the space. And I'm not saying they are, but there's guys, especially old journalists, that will tell you that guys from these other leagues are just as good as the UFC fighters. It's just not true for a number of reasons. And facts and statistics will completely back this up. Completely back.
Please mention those facts and statistics, please, Brendan. Please, because we're struggling to listen to what you have to say. We're struggling to understand your rationale and your reasoning. So to back up your point and to make people like me shut up and prove us wrong, could you please mention those said stats and statistics, please?
This up. Now, some of you are going, what about Kayla Harrison? She came from the PFL. I'm talking men only, where there's a deep pool.
Oh, okay. So it's only for men. It doesn't apply in other places. So you're picking and mixing now, right? We're changing the parameters now, moving the goalposts. At first, the UFC is the only division. Now it's to do men and women. Okay, cool. Well,
there's a deep talent pool. Women, there's like 4. Their skill set is so far behind the men's, it's not even funny. Take that out of it. I'm only talking about...
He hates women now. Now he hates women. Brendan's in Texas. Hates women now too. Love to hear it.
Highly competitive men's mixed martial arts. The most talented guys, the deepest roster, 1 through 50, the most pressure are in the UFC. And outside that, don't get me wrong, they're good fighters. They're good, but they're not UFC world class competition. They're just not. And Patchy Mix, the whole rant about this is Patchy Mix. How many of y'all thought he was going to come in and I like Patchy Mix, for the record. Love his fiance. I adore them. They're both so freaking talented. It's not even...
If somebody loves you the way Brendan loves you, they don't love you, bro. If somebody loves you the way Brendan loves you, they don't love you. He has a very strange way of saying he loves somebody. I love his wife, love this. By the way, he has no shot in the UFC. Just give up now, retire. You're shit. The UFC's #1. You're fucking terrible. Go home. That's how you love somebody. That's how you love them, yeah? Patchy Mix is dead. He's fucked up. He can't compete. He's horrible. He's crap. Get out of here. Get cut. You can't hack it. It's like, what? You love them, right? You love them.
Funny, but it's not in the UFC. Patchy's not in the UFC. So if you watch the countdown when he was watching Batista and going, look at that guy, I'm going to destroy him, a 3-time world champ. Not in the UFC. Big difference. You just got mollywopped by the number 10 guy, who in all likelihood is not going to even be a top 5 guy. He might prove me wrong, but right now he's mid-tier right now as far as 1 through 15.
So hold on. So the UFC is the most stacked division, the most stacked league. If you don't fight in the UFC, you simply don't matter. Patchy Mix got exposed because he's not as good as everybody else because he fights in a league that's not the UFC. But now Baptista's not that good as well. So what's true then? Patchy Mix is shit, Baptista's shit. Who's good then? What? What point is he making here? I'm so confused.
You go above that, buddy. You fought somebody else, Patchy? Buddy, you're not getting out of there alive. You're not getting out of there alive. And he's not old. So,
by the way, he loves him, by the way. He loves him. Remember he prefaced that. I love him, I love his fiance. If Patchy Mix would have faced anybody else aside from Batista, he wouldn't be alive. He would have died. But I love him, I love him, I love him. Okay. Strange way to show love.
So that doesn't work in this narrative. There's only one guy to come from Bellator and have a winning UFC record. You know who that is? Volkov, heavyweight. That's it. Out of all the guys, all that shit everybody talks, there's one guy. There's one guy. Now, they might leave the UFC and go on and do better things, but there's no testing, right? Figure it out. Figure it out.
So no testing means that you improve as a fighter, right? That means suddenly your skill set improves tenfold. Suddenly you can't lose anymore. Well, like, what the fuck are you even talking about? It's all his own insecurities, right? Because I think Brendan deep down thinks... So yeah, Brendan would say, he kind of insinuates that he didn't get where he needed to get to in UFC because when he was fighting, people were doping, right? Were basically taking steroids and shit. Cool. But then now he's saying that the UFC is the highest division because they test. Other divisions don't test. So what is it? Did you not make it champion because everyone's on gear? Or do they test and people aren't on gear in the UFC? Which one is it?
What do you think? They just leave and all of a sudden they get bigger, faster, and stronger? What do you think that is? The other thing is with Patchy, good record, but with Patchy, a lot of guys that he's facing are names that you might know, especially in Bellator and stuff like that, but it's just different, meaning just the come up from the UFC to get into the top 10. Look at Merab. Look at his win streak. Look at the names. Look at Murderer's Row. Look at his strength of schedule to get to the top. That's not happening in Bellator. They don't have the depth. So these guys who are their champs and their
But they do in some divisions. He doesn't even, that's the thing though. He doesn't even watch this. So don't listen to this guy because he couldn't even name you the champions in Bellator, let alone who's in the top 10. He couldn't name you more than 2 champions in Bellator right now if you ask him. But he's talking as if like it, because this would make more sense if you actually watched other divisions and you have a firm understanding of it and you don't rate them and you could name certain fighters and kind of compare and contrast. But he's not even naming anybody. He's just talking in generalities. He's just talking in generalities. He's not naming anybody. He's not being precise. He's not giving you any examples because he doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know anyone. So it's just, he's completely taken out of his ass.
co-main events or number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, those guys aren't even top 15 in the UFC by any metrics, not even close. So the strength of schedule to go from, a local show to maybe a mid-tier organization to the UFC, the amount of shit you have to go through to get to the top 15, especially from 155 and under, is absolutely insane. There's no other league that can compete with that.
I don't know, maybe because I watch other sports, but usually guys and girls who made it in a professional sport who weren't as maybe physically gifted or technically gifted and just got through or just achieved those heights because of maybe timing and pure determination and grit, those type of athletes, they're usually very understanding and usually very open-minded to the struggle that is trying to become a professional athlete. And they always kind of always offering encouraging words to fighters or to athletes, wherever sport it is, about how to come up and about, bouncing back from adversity and stuff, because they were never blessed with the gifts to just get it done, by just getting it done. They had to kind of work for everything that they had really until the end of the line and kind of push themselves to the point of death and shit. You'd think Brendan, because of he's that kind of guy, right? Brendan's never been athletically gifted. Basically that's why he never made it in football. He was always kind of a middling guy, just big in terms of size, but never really athletically gifted in any way. Probably made it in UFC because of timing, right? He joined the UFC at a time when the UFC division, or the UFC heavyweight division in particular, wasn't as stacked as maybe it's been in previous years. Heavyweight division's always been a bit, up and down in all combat sports anyway. It's one of those divisions that's always kind of a bit up and down on quality. But when Brendan was there, the quality wasn't really that high, so he's able to kind of, get through with some of his lessons he had in football. So you'd think because of that base, because of that background, he'd be a little bit more understanding, have a bit more compassion when it comes to the plight of fighters and the different journeys you have to take, right? From maybe, fighting in local chokers to literally fighting in fucking car parks and shit, going and trying to fight in Russia, in China. Like, you'd think he'd be understanding of like the route to kind of get to the UFC, but he's so dismissive. He's so arrogant. He's so arrogant and dismissive. You'd think he was like an elite champion, right? You'd think he's like that kind of guy. Elite champion, has mad amount of fucking gyms and shit. Coach a bunch of people. It's like, bro, you haven't even been involved in the sport in probably more than a decade. Right? He probably can't remember the last time he probably sparred or he's been actively involved in anything to do with kind of fights and shit outside of commentary. But here he is discounting and ruling out kind of anybody's hope and potential of getting there an alternative way. And also with this Patchy Mix guy completely counting somebody out after one fight.
Makes the UFC great is the depth, the strength of schedule. Everybody's fucking good. Number 50 can beat number 5. They're so good now. No other organization has this depth. Now,
didn't you just say that Batista isn't that good? Now you're saying 50 can beat 5. You see what I mean? This guy's got real life CTE. He just said a minute ago, oh, Patchy Mix lost to a guy that isn't even that good. He can't even touch the top 5 people. He can't even do it. And then now you're saying 50 can beat 5. So why is 50 beating 5 an accomplishment if they're not that good? Huh?
Again, these old heads are going to tell you, well, they're just as good. They're not. They're not. They don't have the eyeballs on them.
By the way, old heads, he means journalist. Old head is his code for saying journalist, because I think he values the fact that he doesn't do any research and just talks from his heart more so than journalists who actually, or media figures, some of them in UFC, who maybe watch tape, who maybe watch other fighting divisions or whatever, who maybe, take a bit more interest in that sort of thing. He's saying it that way because that's what's grinding his gears. He hates the fact that those guys work and do some research and he doesn't. So now he's pointing out that, hey, you see these guys that do their research, they got it all wrong. Listen to me in my short shorts.
They don't have the pressure. They don't have the continuous.
Exactly, Mr. Bob. Old heads equals Mr. Ariel. Exactly.
Tough matchups night after night, fight after fight. You beat one guy, you get the next guy. And it's stylistically, it's probably not going to be good for you. You beat him, you're going to get even tougher guy. You beat him, you get even tougher guy. And you're not even in the top 15 yet. Wait till you get to the top 15. All right, let's take a little break, kids, for a break.
And by the way, he's saying top 15 because he was once ranked in the top 15. That's probably why he's saying that.
Done UFC 3.
Okay, we don't care about his advert. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
But in general, you look like Marab, who went through murderer's row to become champion. There's nobody else on any other organization on the planet that is fighting that top tier talent to get to gold. It's not happening.
You know what's funny about this comment? Most likely something's going to happen. A fighter's going to pop up out of the woodwork who's going to completely invalidate his argument. So when he talks in these absolutes, it's going to be funny because eventually there will be a fighter that will come up and completely blow away whatever this assertion that he has, that if you're not fighting the UFC, you simply don't matter. Because his brain is very, frazzled, and he doesn't really have a long memory. So he doesn't remember much. But if something happens in recent times, he's going to be in for a real shock.
Happening. So I'm never surprised, ever.
Yo, big up, who's that? Just Breezy. Big up, Just Breezy. I'm going to London next month. Yeah, if you're here, hit me up, brother. Get at me on the IG. If I'm about, hit me up. If I'm about, we'll go for a little bevy or something. Yeah. DM me on the IG, bro.
I've said this from the rooftops for years. When a guy comes from an organization and people, it's UFC jitters, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Why don't you have those jitters in Bellator? Why don't you have those jitters in PFL? Because nobody.
So jitters only exist if you're fighting in the UFC. How do you even make sense of this nonsense he's talking? How do you make sense of this?
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's watching. The reason you have jitters when you get to the UFC because you're in the big show. No one gets to PFL and go, I'm in the big show. No one gets to Bellator and goes, I'm in the big show. Nobody. No kid grows up going, I want to fight for Bellator. I want to fight for PFL. I want to play football for the CFL. I want to play I want to play basketball over in Europe. Nobody. Everyone, when you're...
For somebody that's not had the best professional sports career, he is such a pompous, arrogant cunt when it comes to other people, isn't it? It's okay if you think like this if you're a LeBron. If you were Kobe and you have this type of opinion, fair. But brother, you were never good. You were never good. You were never good at any sport you played professionally. So you'd think he'd be a little bit more humble, a little bit more understanding, a little bit more empathetic to people's journeys. Nah. No one wants to play in Europe. That doesn't count. It's like, bro, some people don't, I don't know. Basketball's really popular out there in the States. There's crazy talented people playing there from all over the world. Just because you don't make it in the NBA doesn't mean your career is invalid if you go and play in fucking Europe. Like it doesn't matter because you play in Europe. It's like, bruh. Fucking hell, this dude. And he didn't even, that's the thing. I'd get this arrogance, I'd get this fucking cocky attitude, I'd get this dismissive nature if he was a high caliber athlete. Say what you want. Then you can say what the fuck you want. You can talk your shit. But you can't talk shit when you never walk the walk yourself.
Kid dreams of competing at the highest level. Have you ever heard a kid, if your kid's under 12 and goes, Dad, I just want to...
Ason, if we go to London, gifts, what's that? Pints on you, AZ? Yeah, of course. Pints are always on me. Pints are always on me, brother.
Be a PFL champ. Oh, get rid of him. Find another kid. That kid doesn't want to be the best. That kid wants to beat up on lower competition and get the accolades and call himself a world champion. But he's not.
Hold on. Beat up on lower level talent and shit. Doesn't that sound like your son? Doesn't that sound like what he's doing with Tiger Schaub? Doesn't that sound exactly like what he's doing with Tiger Schaub in that little league? And then whenever they go face a team that's actually full of kids who are actually a little bit more physically gifted, suddenly starts crying on his fucking pod. But when Tiger's facing, lower level opposition, the kid is fucking Babe Ruth reincarnated. So it's weird he says that when the same applies to his own kid that he's pushing? By the way, not the kid's fault. He's pushing.
Not really a world champion. Calling yourself a world champion outside the UFC, again, is like winning the Grey Cup in CFL and saying, well, we're better than insert Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. You're not. You're not. And everyone knows this. But again, it's cool to say, like, you're in the known. I found this guy when he was young. I found.
Sorry, watching the chat. We got Gabriel Footballer. Yeah. Wingers now will join you in another pub. Yeah, do that. I think one day I'll probably, I don't know when, but one day I'll probably, it's not many people here anyway, but one day I'll probably do a London meetup. I don't know when exactly, but maybe sometime in the summer, maybe before the summer ends, I'll do a little London pub meetup or something. Maybe we can do one for like a UFC card. But that's the thing, that there's not a lot of good places in London where you can watch the UFC in a sports bar, you know. But there's definitely some anyway. We'll find a fucking sports bar and try and get a fucking and try and do a little meetup there. Obviously, I want to do a big one when I eventually get over to the fucking States, to America. But for the time being, I might do one here. But LOL at this studio, man. So I'm guessing these lights is this like the lights you have in warehouses, right? People in the stream chat. Are those like motion detector ones where if you're not there, they just cut out? Is that what's going on? Because no one's moving because they're sitting down. Why can't they just change the settings of the thing? Can they change the settings of them? Can they install different lights? Is it easy to do or not? Because it's happened already 3 or 4 times on the other episodes. Why can't I just turn it off when they're recording? You're not. And everyone knows this. But again, it's cool to say, like, you're. And everyone knows this. But again, it's cool to say. Honestly, somebody in the stream chat said something like, no, somebody in Reddit actually said, it's fucking wild. Like, usually when people are making content, you start off like in the garage. Like me, you know, I'm starting off in I'm in my living room, right? But eventually there'll come a point where I have like a proper studio. Usually you start off that way. You start off small. You start off like with a webcam. You start off in the garage. You start off with a fucking, you know, iPhone, a tablet, and then you build up. With Brendan, it's gone the opposite way. Like, he started off in like a studio, nice studio. The studio's only got fancier as time got going by, and now he's going backwards. And now he's in a kind of quote unquote garage. It's kind of insane when you think about it. Like, he's done it the fucking opposite way. Like, which I wonder if that hurts, or if he doesn't even notice because he just goes. Like, do you think it bothers him, or do you think it hurts that he's pulling up to like it's like a garage facility instead of that fancy fucking Tiger Thick or Thick Boy studio in LA where they had like proper parking, air conditioned fucking buildings and shit, security, cleaners? Do you think he feels like shit? I'm pulling up to a fucking like industrial park, because that's what it looks like anyway, right? This is a proper ghetto, and then before I was in like a proper nice studio. Hey, like, you're in the known. I found this guy when he was young. I found him in, you know, Cage Warriors. I found him in, you know, all these other. We got Isanella. Made it from the bottom. Now I'm here. Exactly. Underlying promotions before he became big time. Until you're in the UFC, there's a reason no one ever says, I had PFL jitters. I had Bellator jitters. Because nobody's watching. It's not the same. You're not in the big show. You're not fighting fight after fight the top level talent. You have control of your matchups. There's probably 4 of you that can probably compete in the UFC, but you're not going to be tip of the spear UFC. It's just the way it goes. Patchy makes you learn that the hard way. Flat-footed, horrible head movement, bad combinations. By the way, he loves him, by the way. They're friends. He loves him. They're friends. And he was the best over there. Come to the UFC, it's just a different animal. Oh, you're such a UFC homer. Sure. I'm an NFL homer, MLB homer. Until you get to those, I really don't give a fuck. So you're not really a sports fan, are you? That's the thing. And I think the UFC is different because the UFC has a monopoly on the talent, really, because of the pay and because of how it's set up in a way. Kind of way. They kind of underpay you, but then there's a prospect of you making loads and the glory and the fame around it. So you attract a lot of people who are willing to pay for peanuts, fight for peanuts, because there's a hope that you could potentially get a big contract because so many other fighters have got big contracts and made loads of money and become big stars off the back of it. So it's a weird type of thing. But there are some fighters who don't believe in that whole mythos or that whole story or that whole narrative I just put out there. And they'd rather fight in other divisions, other leagues, other fucking countries. What does that mean? Does that mean they don't matter because they're fighting in leagues that you don't care about? Their UFC careers aren't as valid or aren't as worthwhile because they're not in the UFC. They shouldn't be seen as one of the best in their division because they're not fighting on fucking ESPN. Okay.
Again, I can't emphasize this enough. There's only been one guy who did the crossover, not out of his prime, all that bullshit. There's only one guy that has a successful winning record in the UFC that came from Bellator, and his name is Volkov. Do we think Volkov is going to be a world champion? Is he going to beat Tom Aspinall? Can he beat John Jones? And that's heavyweight. It's not even deep. He's never going to be champion. Never. Never. Is Michael Venom Page going to be champion? Not a chance. He's fun. Is Michael Chandler going to be champion? Never. He's fun. He's fun. But as far as being world-class, dominant.
So hold on. So the only way to judge, hold on. Again, this guy makes no sense. So the only criteria to judge if a fighter who's not fighting in the UFC is good enough to be in the UFC is if they can come into the UFC and become champion. If you can't become a champion in that division, then you don't matter. Surely it doesn't work that way. Surely it should be, can you compete? Can you hang? Then you kind of see how you kind of progress as time goes by. But he means, even if you weren't a champion in your division or not, I guess if you were a champion, maybe the onus is more on that. But let's say you weren't a champion in your division, but in the other organization, and you come over to UFC, you're then required to be a champion to be seen as worthwhile. Or if you are a champion in your other division, and you come over specifically because the talent pool wasn't deep enough. Imagine you ran through everybody, and there isn't a new batch of people to fight now. You've kind of run out of people to fight. So you leave your organization in Europe, wherever that is, to come and fight in the UFC because you want to fight more people, because you want to challenge yourself. What then? Because you don't become champion, you can't be respected, you can't be lauded, you can't be praised for making that jump. You don't matter because you weren't champion. Your whole career is invalid now. Okay.
Like a Marab, like a Khabib. No, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I know it's cool. I know you're in the know, and this guy's really good. He could compete.
He hates people. He hates that people watch things, isn't it? Brendan hates that people watch things. People have an interest. People care. People have a passion for mixed martial arts. So they watch other leagues. They watch other divisions. They watch other organizations in other countries. Countries where the language doesn't even understand it. Just so they can get their fucking, dose of MMA. Brendan hates it. He hates that people know stuff. They know about other fighters in other countries with decent records who maybe could do something in UFC. Isn't that part of the fun of being a sports fan, though? I know for me, for football, that's part of the fun with football. When I watch a championship or when I watch other leagues in Europe, part of the fun is following these other leagues and having an understanding of the talent level in all these other countries. And it's also kind of fun to have some knowledge, information. So when an English team faces a team in fucking, I don't know, let's say in the Netherlands, you suddenly have this information or knowledge because you watched a couple Eredivisie games. That's part of the fun. And maybe you might have a player that you like that's playing currently in Ligue 1, in the French league, who you may think can tear up the English Premier League. They come over and they stink up the place. Cool. It didn't work out. But, the fun is in maybe watching the journey, hoping it does. With Brendan, he takes no joy in, discovering new fighters in foreign lands and trying to maybe think, hypothesize, whatever, about how they would match up, about how they would fare if they came to the UFC. Nah. If you're not fighting the UFC, you don't matter. Fuck off.
the UFC, the big bad wolf. Okay, there's a reason why they get so much hate.
Say wolf. Say wolf again. Say wolf one more time.
Like, he could compete. The UFC, the big bad wolf. Okay, there's a reason why they get so much hate.
One more time. One more time.
Could compete. The UFC, the big bad wolf. Okay.
Wolf. Do wolves say wolf or do dogs say wolf? It's funny. He says wolf, but dogs do wolf. Wolf. Yeah. But hey, what do I know?
There's a reason why they get so much hate. Because they're the best. They're the best. No one's ever said I have jitters. Oh man, bad PFL performance. He just has PFL jitters.
You don't watch the PFL, so you wouldn't know.
Man, there's no jitters. It's a normal fight. It's no different than when the organization you came up in. Nobody's watching. The crowd ain't full. Yeah, Don Davis.
He's such a dismissive cunt, innit? But I like how he's saying things with his chest now because maybe he's in Austin. He's feeling more brave. I don't know. I love that he's saying stuff with his chest now. Because although he tries to suck up to Dana and all those type of guys, this is how he feels about the UFC too, deep down. If it's not certain fighters, he doesn't give a fuck. He only does it because of this show. But truly, if it's certain fighters, even those fighters, he doesn't really give a fuck about.
Gives a fuck if he's sitting cage side. You guys looking at stocks wearing a tie. It's not even close. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not.
What is that insult? He's looking at stocks wearing a tie, huh? What do you mean? He's on his phone, like you are when you're watching the UFC most of the time.
Same. Anybody who tells you different, they're just haters. It is what it is. I'm not saying Patchy Mix isn't good. I'm not saying these other fighters that came.
So other people that believe that there's talent outside of the UFC are haters of the UFC. How does that make any sense? Can't you just appreciate the sport overall? Surely you're the fucking ball washer. Surely you're the fucking cock holster if you think the only worthwhile talent to care about or the only mixed martial arts thing that you should be watching point blank is UFC. You shouldn't watch anything else. Just UFC. Surely you're the one that's fucking the hater of other places opposed to the other people, no?
From Bellator, if they came from PFL, aren't good. I'm not saying that. But they're not going through the strength of schedule like a UFC fighter. When a UFC fighter gets that world championship title, just know they've gone through fucking murderer's row to get that. You cannot say the same in any other league. Any other league. Now, some of you are yelling at your car radios right now and giving me examples of guys you think would do well. Cool. Come on over. Come on over. Let me know how it goes for you. Odds are not well. It's just the way it works. It's the way it works. It's the way it works. A lot of Canadians got mad. Listen, talk to any NFL guy. Talk to NFL. 99.9%. And you're going to give me an example of Joe Theismann or some bullshit from back in the day.
So there's example. So hold on. Every time there's an example, it's bullshit. You dismiss it. So you say it can never happen. This fight can't do this. But then there's always an exception. There's always one or two exceptions. Or more than that. But then they're just bullshit. They're dismissed. Huh? So because it doesn't support your argument, it gets dismissed. But then your argument continues. Despite there being examples that counter your argument. Cool.
Well, so you got fucking Doug Flutie, right? All that bullshit. Or what else are you going to give me? You give me Kurt Warner, Arena League. Cool. There's a few examples. But in general, 99.9% of the CFL rosters couldn't even make a roster in the NFL. These are facts. That's real. The same thing goes in Bellator and PFL. Hate to tell you. There's also a reason those leagues don't stick around. Why is that? They don't have.
Please, you tell us. Weren't you part of the GFL? You've made no statement about the GFL, by the way, Brendan. Why don't you tell us why they don't stick around? Weren't you fucking ball hogging, cock gobbling for the GFL the other day? You've not made a comment about them. Why don't you tell us why they don't stick around? Make a comment about the GFL, please. Make a statement. Let us know.
Have depth. They don't have stars. They don't have the funding. They're not getting the advertisement because nobody's watching.
Are you talking about the GFL or are you talking about the PFL?
Why? Well, it's not that it's a bad product, but the casuals know you're not getting the best fighters on the planet. When you tune into the UFC, you know you're getting the very best of the best and they're competing against each other. These other leagues, it's not the case. It's just not the case. It's not. Why isn't that new football league? Was it Global Fight Football League? Where the fuck it is? The Rock's involved in? Watch that. Watch that. Then watch the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. Tell me if you see a difference.
Trying too hard to go viral. Trying too hard now. Maybe this whole thing was the whole point of it. Maybe this is a bit of rage bait. He's trying way too hard to kind of go viral again. I guess that's how he thinks he's going to be paying his bills. He's going to say some asinine, dumb hot take. But then the thing about him is that he doesn't do rage bait well because he gets offended. You know, his feelings get hurt. So when you're a rage baiter, when you purposely try and rile people up, you're meant to not give a fuck. You're meant to be like adamantium when it comes to people clapping back at you or calling you mean things or taking the piss out of you. But Brendan clearly isn't that guy. So he will say crazy shit in terms of like rage baiting and getting people all riled up. But then when people get riled up and they respond back and call him names or laugh at how dumb he is, he'll block, he'll get angry, he'll try arguing back in the comments. You can't do that. If you're going to rage bait, have your fun, but then don't start replying on the comments and stuff. Like, you look like your feelings got hurt, you know? You're purposely trying to hurt people's feelings to trigger them so they can say something so that you can get engagement and go viral and pay your bills. Cool. But then you're arguing and defending yourself in the comments.
Why isn't that doing well? Why aren't there stars? Because they're not competing against the best. These are guys that couldn't make it there for whatever reason, but they continue on to play the game or they want to continue to fight, so they go to these other leagues. That's the narrative. We all know it. It's the elephant in the fucking room. We all know it. Now there's a...
By the way, he's only talking to Chin. The only person in that studio right now is Chin. There's not even Casey in that studio. He's getting all riled up like this, creating these imaginary arguments and debates. And the only person that's in that room is Chin.
few guys that are going to get experience in Bellator or PFL. Bellator's gone, so I don't know why I keep saying that, but maybe PFL or Ryzen or one championship, and then come to the UFC if they're younger. And the real test will be Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico, not washed, you know, got a lot of experience in Bellator, has all the skill. Let's see how he does. Let's see if he becomes your, you know, savior. And I love Aaron Pico. I hope he becomes champion. Odds are not on his side. Just the way it goes. Oh, you're such a homer. You're such a hater. Nah, these are just fucking, look up the fucking stats. So whoever you listen to on Monday mornings, Tuesday mornings, Wednesday mornings is going to tell you, oh, Patchy just had UFC jitters. Will Brooks, he just couldn't get in the flow of things, the matchup. Michael Chandler was washed when he came over. How about Sergio Pettis? How did he do in the UFC? Well, he was young. Whatever you got to tell yourself. Great fighter. How'd Mighty Mouse do when he left the UFC? Pretty fucking good. Guys leave the UFC and go on and do great things, but it's very, very rare. It's definitely the exception of guys that leave Bellator and go on and do great things in the UFC. It's just, again, well, Michael Chandler's had great fights. I love Michael Chandler. Always watch him fight. Never gonna be world champion. I'm talking tip of the spear.
So if they're not world champion, they don't count. Okay, cool. We got his point. This guy's fucking headache inducing, isn't it? Let's quickly move on. A little bit, because this guy's making me want to shove my head into a fucking chip saw. Let's quickly check something. I quickly want to check something. I think there might be some stuff on BET happening right now, because BET is happening right now, right? BET settings. What's happening? There we go. There's some BET shit that's happening. Let's quickly check some of these clips from the stream, right? Of all these streamers, because BET Awards, correctly, by the way, congratulations to BET. Pick up whoever's in charge. This smart idea, because that award is pretty irrelevant and no one really gives a shit about it, especially people that get nominated, especially the black people, really, which is really sad. It's Black Entertainment Television Awards, and a lot of the black people that get nominated on that thing don't end up turning up. They love to go to the fucking Grammys and everything else, but they don't go to BET. Anyway, this year, whoever's in charge decided to invite a bunch of streamers to live stream the BET Awards, which is a smart idea, because way more people are going to watch the BET the streamers than they would ever watch the actual live show. and they've got Kevin Hart hosting it, Drewski, CENAT, all these kids. So it's a good idea that way to get people to go and see it. So let's see what happened. I want to have an idea, courtesy of Fearbuck, to take a quick look at what happened over there at BAT. Bear with me 1 second as I get this up here, courtesy of this Fearbuck account. So we got some stuff there. Okay, cool. That's already stuff that's gone by. There we go. There's BAT here. Tyler was denied access to bring his baby niece onto the BAT red carpet, because minors weren't allowed, but was told that only the children of icons get that privilege. Okay, let's check this out. Let's play this.
So I spoke to my friend is Kai. I spoke to his manager, John.
Right, I understand, but we have a no minor policy, and I let them know that ahead of time when I asked me about it. Like there's liquor on the carpet. We cannot have.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a picture on the carpet.
You can take a picture. You can.
It is a rule.
Yeah,
I didn't know that today.
But Julius and I were talking about this already.
The only people that got approved are icons for their kids, because they are being honored. But we cannot have minors on the carpet, especially not this day.
Okay. So should I? Let me call John.
So
that is so lame, isn't it? I understand why they say that, but that is so fucking lame. He wants to bring in his niece on the red carpet. Just take a fucking picture, right? It's good for the fucking, it's good for the story, and it's kind of cute as well. Taking your fucking baby niece there on the red carpet as your fucking date. Just let the kid take the fucking picture. Is it really that big of a deal? Oh, but we only let icons do it. So celebrities can bring their kids on the red carpet, but I can't bring mine. The celebrities' kids aren't celebrities either, right? If you're in this thing about protecting children, then just have no children allowed on the red carpet at all. But you can't have, oh no, the kids of celebrities are fine. No, they're not. People shouldn't be taking pictures of
Powerful bunch.
Big up Asad Aziz.
They acting like that baby is a damn bomb. PPL suck.
Exactly. And it would probably, and that's the thing, people as well. With people that do this rule following thing, maybe they get a lot of joy out of like saying no, but surely it would be quicker for that woman to get somebody to escort this kid and his niece quickly to a bit of red carpet. Okay, cool. Let's get him to the red carpet now. Take your pictures. You have 5 minutes. Okay? You have fucking 5 minutes. Don't waste my time. Okay, thank you so much. Let the kid go over there, record his little fucking bit he wants to do with his niece, and then take them off. It's not that deep. But no, we can't. Only the icons. It's like, ay. No wonder these award ceremonies are so irrelevant. If you're going to invite streamers to do streaming shit, let them do their streaming shit, innit? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand it. Legally, kids can be on carpet, but icons can bring their kids on carpet. So it's one or the other. It's icons got enough status to bring their kids on the carpet, or legally no kids can be on the carpet? Because if there's no kids being on the carpet, it should be no kids on the carpet.
Exactly.
Icons are not. And I'm not being rude. I'm just like, just be honest with me. If you just be honest, keep it a buck, I respect it.
Exactly.
Tyler James, you're not Alicia Keys. You're not Mariah Carey. You're not that big of a person to bring your niece on the carpet. And I just say,
which is fine. It's kind of fucked up, which is fine. But just be honest. But he did want not to argue, because in those scenarios, those type of people, they already get a lot of self-worth from the authority and the power they have. The last thing you want to do is argue those people, because they are then going to enjoy even more getting you kicked out. You know what I mean? So he did well to just speak and try to understand what was going on. She didn't have it. The rules are the rules. Okay, no problem. I can complain on my stream. But I think it's a bit shit. They could have let this kid record with his niece on a red carpet for fucking 2 minutes with supervision, right? And then took them straight off there. It would have been no problem. But here we are. Next clip. CENAT reveals he was invited to where? To the Ballon d'Or. Really? Why would they invite him to the Ballon d'Or? He doesn't know nothing about football. By Inter Miami.
I got invited to the Ballon d'Or, but that's the only red carpet I can think of in my head. But I'm not into soccer, so chat. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch soccer, bro. So this is the last.
Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or, not Ballon d'Or. There's no I in it. Ballon d'Or is Ballon d'Or, my friend. We got guys see that. That's fucking hilarious.
I got invited to the Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
That's the only red carpet I can think in my head, but I'm not into soccer, so chat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch soccer, bro. So this is the last one. I don't watch football. Go, chat. I can't, chat. No, I can't. Bro, I don't watch football. Chat, look, I got invited by...
It actually might be better if he went, to be fair, because he won't be sucking up to the footballers. It might actually be way funnier if he did go to the Ballon d'Or ceremony. Because I'm sure those footballers would know him, but he would know them. So it'd be a nice sort of different contrast, because those footballers are used to being hounded on the streets and chased everywhere. So it might be nice for a change that they get to be the fanboys, you know, for once. So maybe he should go, just for the fun of it.
The Miami football team that Messi is on. I got invited to them to go to one of their practices or something behind the scenes, and then after to the Ballon d'Or. But chat, I'm not into football, bro. I just might go to the Miami thing, and then surprise speed with Messi.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's what I should do.
That's funny.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, that would actually be a good idea. Known Ronaldo stan. That would be a good idea.
I got invited to the Ballon d'Or, but.
Wow. Also, hold on, let me go back. Bear with me a second. Big up everybody in the stream chat. If you're liking the stream, please like the stream down below. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, all that good shit. Join, become a member. 500 members, goal. Get involved, get involved. Kai CENAT ran into hip hop legend Wale and didn't know who he was. Oof. To be fair, that's a tough one. I don't believe in, like, Kai CENAT doesn't really listen to music like that, innit? You have to be a...
What up, DRUSKI?
You have to be a real...
What you playing on your Nintendo Switch? Smash. Smash, bro? I'll beat you. Alright, gang. Chat, does anybody have the Nintendo Switch? You're not even a Nintendo Switch type of nigga. Nah, me neither. I ain't gonna lie. But I heard it was like crazy though.
You know what that is?
It was crazy, bro.
You didn't know that is, did he? He didn't know that was.
Oh my God, that was somebody crazy. Hey, the whole chat knows him.
Wale.
Wale? What he do?
Rap.
Oh, word?
Like Lotus Flower Bomb or something?
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. He's never beaten the allegations. There's an allegation going around that Kai CENAT has a music stylist. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to this, but there is a rumor, a conspiracy theory, that Kai CENAT has a music stylist. Somebody that prepares a playlist of songs of all the popping rappers, whoever's current now, that he listens to and stream, and he acts like he knows what's going on, but he doesn't. He's not really into music like that, it seems, which is weird, isn't it, for a black kid? But it doesn't seem like music is his thing. Not as much as maybe others. Or he doesn't really have a big knowledge of music. So he's never beaten those allegations because he didn't recognize who Wale was. That isn't like, maybe he didn't. I didn't think, maybe you don't recognize him in the moment because you're in the award season headspace. But I thought when the guy mentioned Lotus Flower Bomb, one of Wale's biggest songs, or maybe if he mentions fucking Maybach Music or something, he might recognize him. But he had no idea. He couldn't even fake it. That's crazy. He's never beaten the allegations that he has a music stylist. He had no idea who Wale is. You don't have to know his songs, but not knowing who he is and also being into hip hop is like, how does that work? Kai CENAT met Kevin Gates at the BET Awards. Oh yes, I love Kevin Gates.
I gotta see who else is here. Oh, Kevin Gates.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Gates. How you doing?
I'm amazing, bro. Man, why you ain't telling me about the university shit, man?
Did you apply?
You should have let me come be a professor.
But you applied?
I could have gave him some news.
Oh, man. You was my boy Duke. Duke, my boy. Oh, my boy, my bad. I can't.
Why you don't have R&B on your...
Come on, who said I don't? Who said I don't?
I just said it.
Come on. I gotta see who else.
Come on, bloody hell, everyone's trying to jump on his platform. To be fair, if that guy doesn't know who Wale is, why is he gonna know who R&B artists are? That's a waste of time. That's a waste of time. But good suggestion regardless. Kai CENAT bumping into Young Thug and DRUSKI on the red carpet.
You is? Boy, you fresh. Nah, you fresh, right? With the watch on. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Keep spider. What you doing here, what? I want to be seen. That nigga move. Oh, you move, boy. What you doing here, bro? What you doing here? What you doing here? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, they had motherfuckers. They talking about Jamie Foxx do them motherfuckers. Oh, for real? Jamie Foxx. Where Kevin at? I think Kev left. What? They said Kev left. What do you mean? Yeah, Kev. That's what they told me. They told me Kev left. Nigga, that was Thug. Oh, that was Thug. Yeah, that was. Hey, why you got the mask? Okay, look. Hey, you gonna get me? No. They gonna whoop my ass. I'm living in Atlanta, man. Don't do that. Me too. You guys are great. Hey, I'm gonna see you tonight, though.
Hilarious. Neon just be okay. We don't care about that 101. CENAT and DRUSKI just make belly gang.
All the games. Hey, you ain't see my boy. Hey, what up, man? Even I see my Hey, that's it. Hey, come on, nigga. Come on, get a picture. Yeah, throw them motherfuckers up. Yeah. I'm going with you, bro. Hey, you look like my boy Reggie. Yo, hey, yeah. Okay, yeah. Bring me to the hood, nigga. Nigga. Come on, man. I can grab one with you. Yeah. Oh, street niggas. Yo, do you? Was that the nigga you made the skit about? What? Who? Your last skit. Was that the nigga you made? Was that nigga? Boy, you trying to catch me?
I don't think they've had this much level of excitement and joy and happiness at award. They should just do this more often with streamers. They probably won't because they like to have it a little bit prestigious, but these award shows are bullshit anyway, you know? No one really watches them. They're full of commercials. So if you're going to make it, you might as well just invite random people on, like random streamers to just go and just document what's going on, you know? Because I bet more people watch these guys streaming at the BET Awards as opposed to actually watching it. I don't actually know what channel the BET was actually on. Maybe it's on. It's probably going to be on BET, isn't it, out in America? But yeah, I don't know how many people even have access to watch BET. Let's scroll. What?
So that was my whole thing. How much on lean? I spent over $1 million on lean, but we don't buy drugs anymore. Fuck drugs.
$1 million on lean.
Yeah, bro. Lean. Oh yeah. Lean is horrible though, bro.
You spent $1 million on lean?
Do you pay for private jets? Or you get paid for you?
Is lean that tasty, by the way? People on the stream chat who's done lean. Is it that good? Is it that good that you spend $1 million on it? Is it really that good that you spend $1 million on it? $1 million. God almighty. God almighty. Like, wow. But to be fair to him too, this is Aiden Ross, right? He's super well-known, rich, famous streamer guy. Kid. He's probably getting taxed, isn't it? Let's be real. He probably spent $1 million, but did he get $1 million's worth? He probably didn't get $1 million's worth. He's probably getting taxed. You know, dealers see him coming and they're always going to overcharge. They're always going to overcharge him. So he's probably getting taxed a big amount. So maybe he spent $1 million, but he probably didn't get $1 million worth of lean. I don't think so. But that's fucking wild, bro. That addiction must be real. But people do say it's hard to break into addiction. Lean. Lean's one of the hardest addictions to break. Fuck. CENAT just met Jamie Foxx. Oh, sick. Let's see the joke. There's good laughs around this.
Jamie. This different. Hey, you look good, huh? I see you all the time, but this is crazy. Bro. No. Can a nigga be a fan? Can I be a fan?
Powerful boy. Yeah.
They were taxing the shekels out that Jew.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. He was getting taxed out of the fucking wazoo for sure. Big up my guy, Sadaziz.
Hey, I met her at the show. I seen you at. She take photographs. Like she get a for sure. Polaroid. Bro, I love you, bro. You a legend. I understand your influence and how big you are. So when you took time out for her, that meant Of course. Of course.
Life.
Of course.
Of
course, bro.
She followed. I mean, I don't. They gotta go out there. They gotta. Yo, but watch out for her.
Yes.
Watch out for her.
Bro, I gotta get. Can I get your contact?
Let me get this sharp up right here.
Fucking who the fuck is that? Is that Shabuzi? Is he really tall or is Jamie Foxx really short? Fucking hell. That's Shabuzi, right? That country singer guy. He came into the picture like a fucking unit. How tall is how short? Look at his shoulder. Fucking hell. Is he really tall or is Jamie Foxx and Kai CENAT really short? Because God almighty, bro.
Let me get this sharp up right here. First, let me get.
Hold on, I gotta get Jamie number. Got you. I got you. My bad.
Fucking. Yeah, big up Jack Donny. How do you say? Yeah, that's his name though, isn't it? Shabuzi, the one with the country song, the black guy with the country song. I don't know. You guys should know him. He's the one dominating your charts over there. You guys should know him more than me. I know he's black, but you know we don't all know each other. Cool. That's it, right? That's it. No more up. Oh yeah, unless I want to check out what's his name. Bear me a second here. I want to check out one last thing. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Smash the like button down below. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. All that good shit. Lean is way overpriced for what it actually is. Heroin is cheaper. Big up Brian. I love that. Heroin is cheaper. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna be a smackhead, do proper smack. That's what I say. Big up Brian. I fully consider that message. If you're gonna do fucking smack, do proper smack. Big up 10 Toes. I think people lie about it being hard to get off. On 10 Toes, please explain more, brother. What conspiracy theory is that? You think people lie about how addictive lean is just because they just enjoy it? What's that conspiracy theory? I want to hear that. Big up Ricardo. I know the celebs hate the streamers are in their space now. No, I think they love it, brother. I think the opposite. Streamers get a lot of views. Streamers also make a lot of money. Most of those streamers are probably richer than a lot of those celebrities in that room. And they know it. And they all have attention. So most likely those celebrities are happy that they're in there because they want to get attention and eyes on their things that they do. Big up to Jack Don Jr. It's been a long time since my place has been chart aligned. Fair play. God's favor. Lean makes me pass out. Cool. But yeah, let's continue. Big up Asad Aziz. You don't get withdrawals from it because it's not as strong as opiate, but it's very addictive. Okay, cool. Fair play. I know people here we don't have lean like you guys. We have something else. What do we have here? Because there's this one girl I follow on social. This like cute black girl who's like a rapper who does a bunch of drugs. I think she loves doing lean. I wish I remember her name. She's like a European girl, and the stuff I see looks like cough syrup. Maybe really strong stuff, but it's not like as strong as your lean. And we also have people do here THC lean. There's that, right? There's a big scene of that THC infused like syrup type shit. So yeah, that. But it's hard to get actual lean in the UK at least. I think people here pay a pretty. If you can smuggle it in, people will pay a big amount of money because it's very hard to get. Even rappers can't get it, and they have loads of money and contacts and shit. Some of them. Anyway, let me continue. I want to show you. There's a clip here of Kevin Hart as allegedly ripping into Kirk Franklin. I want to play that. Hopefully my thing doesn't get taken down. Let's see if I can play that. There's meant to be a clip here of Kevin Hart ripping into Kirk Franklin. Let me see if I can find it. Big up Stinger Goo. Lean turning me gay is hilarious. Hold on 1 second. Where is it? There we go. Kevin Hart going into fucking what's his face? Into Kirk Franklin, legendary gospel singer, by the way. You guys know Kirk Franklin, right? I want to see this. Please be good. Come on, Kevin. Please be good, brother. Please be. Don't be twerking. Don't be twerking. Don't be front twerking. Yo, I need to get me some fucking Turkish teeth in it. Look at the American teeth, man. I need to get me some Turkish teeth. Look at Uncle behind there. Look at those fucking teeth. They came out straight from a fucking cartoon. Straight out of an anime. I need to get me some fucking blocks, some white blocks. When I get my teeth done, I'm gonna be laughing all the time, bro. I won't shut up. I'll be like, look at those fucking gnashes. Look at those gnashes. Look at those pearly whites. I need me some new teeth, man. I need me some Turkish chompers. Some pearly whites. Oh, big up Kevin Hart though. Dworking is fucking hilarious. Does somebody have a clip of the dworking thing, by the way? Because maybe you guys don't get the meme, but there's a dworking thing. This kid did this meme about dworking. Like, when girls come up to me, don't come up to me when I'm doing my dworking. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You see what I mean about Twitter? You type in dworking and look at the first thing you get as a result. Oh my god. I'm sorry. If anybody saw that, I'm sorry. If anybody saw that, I'm sorry. Oh my fucking god, bro. I typed in dworking and the first thing I saw was cock and balls. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Okay, there's a meme. There's a meme. Whew, I had to skip past it, but God almighty, bro. Here's the meme. This is the meme that fucking Kevin Hart was referencing. Fucking hell. Look, this is the meme, this one. Can you see this? I'm working at the function and the girl tried to get in front of me. I'm easy or something. That's what Kirk Franklin does allegedly. Working. Oh my god. Yo, that was crazy, man. That was crazy. Full cock and balls, you know. Full cock and balls on display. Man, them are going mad. Man, them are going mad. Cool. Move on. Let's move on from that one. Let's move on. Let's move on. Because I don't wanna get moved on. Let's move on. Cool. Let's do next thing. Let's do. Oh yeah, you guys. Did you guys hear about this? Did you guys hear about this shooting in Las Vegas? Oh my fucking god! I heard about it. I think when I woke up, it just happened around midday my time. I think. Fucking crazy. These two guys on fucking YouTube. These two fucking YouTubers with channels were beefing. They do like live stream IRL type streams, right? I think one had 40,000 subscribers, one had 20, you know, just kind of up and coming small YouTubers and shit. They go into some sort of beef, some sort of altercation, some sort of back and forth online for like a year. 1 year they've been going back and forth online, trolling each other. I think one of them got the other channel 2 strikes on YouTube. And if you know on YouTube, if you get 3 strikes, your channel gets terminated. So maybe the fallout intensified because one person got the other person 2 strikes. But they then were meant to meet up in Las Vegas because they were both going to be in Las Vegas, I don't know, just to hang out and shit. And then the one guy who killed the other dude was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna see you. When I see you, I'm gonna shoot you." And everyone's thinking he was joking, but he wasn't. The other guy who died, unfortunately, was on live stream with his wife. He's on live stream with his wife on the strip somewhere, just having fun, chatting to his chat. Unbeknownst to him, the guy comes from the side and shoots him point blank as he's streaming off camera. You can't see it. Then the wife screams, runs over to the guy, and he carries on shooting, and she dies as well. So he killed his op and his op's wife. Crazy. Here's a news report. There's a video for it on YouTube. The whole thing on YouTube is pretty bleak, and there's also another video you see where you see the woman dead on the floor lying next to her husband. Fucking crazy. Yeah, I heard someone big up Sosa Loves. I heard somewhere that it was either the copyright thing or I read somewhere that somebody said that one of the guys, the guy that looks Hispanic or Latin or whatever, they said that that guy allegedly owns a restaurant or something, and the black guy who died went to that guy's restaurant and gave it a bad review. That's where their beef started, allegedly. I think I read that somewhere. Not sure if that's true or not, but it's something to do with a food review or something. Is where that's the origin of the beef.
At first, everyone was just trying to look like, oh, maybe someone fainted. But then as police cars started coming over, everyone got very, very concerned.
And you are waking up to breaking news this morning from the overnight hours. 2 people are dead following a feud, according to authorities on social media, that just spilled into gunfire in front of the Bellagio fountains hours ago. Thank you for being here. I'm Kim Wagner. Our live team coverage continues this morning. Police still looking for the person who pulled the trigger, who the person responsible for this shooting. As you can see, it was quite chaotic right there in front of the Bellagio fountains as people were wrapping up having fun in our city. This happened right before the 11 o'clock hour last night. Our Andrew Nomura is on the case this morning. He is going to break down.
There was a thing. Oh, big up God's Forever. You mentioned it. I was just about to say. Big up God's Forever. You mentioned. I was just about to say. There was video footage up because I was following it the whole morning, and I saw there was some clips, live stream clips of the black guy that died talking quite, badly on the other dude. But also that was kind of taken out of context because they clearly didn't like each other. So they were talking bad about each other. But at one clip I saw, the black guy, he was saying something like, oh, the other dude, the Hispanic dude's got like 2 strikes on his channel. Even though I don't fuck with him, I feel bad and I'm not going to go and give him a 3rd strike. I'm just going to leave it. And I think he even told his fans, like, don't give him another strike. Don't report his channel. But then he also kept saying, oh, the guy's mentally ill. He's mentally unwell. Da, 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 da. And obviously, in hindsight, you can say those type of things were mean, but I don't know, man. It just seemed a little bit excessive because there was 4 of them on that live stream, and they were all kind of dunking on that one guy that killed the other one, right? And it was like, he's not there to defend himself on a live stream. You guys are throwing out personal attacks. It's a little bit much, It's one thing to criticize somebody for their pics or, as Brendan will say, right? Or for the content they make. But like the insulting thing is like some people don't play by those insults. What that guy did was fucking terrible anyway. But I think, and obviously his reaction doesn't warrant anything that guy said in terms of reaction. But sometimes you have to be careful who you mess with. Some people, like maybe he generally was mentally ill and you're antagonizing him by like trolling him online. It's like, it's not a good thing. But to be fair, it's also says a lot about us humans that this doesn't happen often. This is a very rare occasion. Consider the amount of people that get trolled. Look at people like Review Tech USA. Review Tech USA gets some of the most meanest, brutalist trolling online. Wings of Redemption gets fucking abused all the time. Boogie gets abused. These people who probably should have snapped and blown somebody's head off for their shoulders, they haven't. Or the other way around, people should hate them enough that they want to do that to them and they don't. So I think this is a very extreme case, and it's not obviously indicative of everybody. But I also think, choose your battles carefully, bro. Like, that guy wasn't playing, bro. He literally went to Las Vegas hunting this guy down, and he eventually found him and killed him and his wife because they were trolling him online. Like, fucking nutter.
Who they believe was involved in the online feud that possibly led to the deadly gunfire. And also News 3's Alora Lagarde is breaking down the timeline of how this all went down. Let's kick things off with Alora first. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Kim. We have been talking in these past few hours about what we have been seeing so far. It goes into this deadly shooting that happened, claiming the lives of 2 victims. Just to show you right now what we're seeing, Kim, we still have this area blocked off. We are at South Las Vegas Boulevard on the 3600 block.
You know what's wild about this? It's premeditated because somebody in the stream chat spotted the guy walking past them first. He kind of hides. He walks past them one time, then he walks past again. That's when he starts busting shots. So he sees them already. They don't spot him. They don't spot him first. But then somebody also said in the Twitter when I was reading the threads, people were saying that this is a whole scene. This is like it kind of reminds you of like the Mersh of like the Babel. Is it the Babel verse? That's what it reminds me of. So allegedly there's this scene of people, and they're kind of like locals, and viewers kind of antagonize them on purpose to get them to fight each other. So they kind of say certain things, you know, they kind of press their buttons in the stream chat with TTSs and whatever else it may be. So people are now trying to blame the viewers for this escalating the way it did, because the viewers on both sides, of the fans of either people, have been antagonizing either side to like keep this beef going, which is what led to this being this fatal fucking thing, which I think is a bit unfair. But that's that whole scene of people like these IRL streamers who aren't that well known but have like a really devoted following. They're on live stream all the fucking time. Yeah, fucking hell.
It goes all the way down to Flamingo. We have literally this whole entire area of the strip is completely blocked off right now. But here's what we do know, Cam. Metro Police responded to a shooting on the strip last night on the 3600 block of Las Vegas Boulevard near the Bellagio fountains around 10:40 p.m. Police ran towards the gunfire and found 2 victims on the ground suffering from gunshot wounds. Despite life-saving measures, both victims were pronounced dead on the scene. Here are the moments that police heard that gunfire.
Yeah, so here's the video. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but this is the video that kind of shows you what happened. I won't play the whole thing, but this is what basically happened. So I'll just play the start so you can get an idea, right? So one YouTuber, if YouTuber Finny the Legend and his wife were both shot and killed by a YouTuber called Sin City Manny while the couple were live streaming in Las Vegas. So let's play the clip. You know what's really tragic about this, by the way? If you watch the whole clip, right? There's a whole, someone put the whole VOD up, the whole live stream. If you watch the whole clip, this guy's wife is getting friendly and chatting with these other girls next to him on the strip. So imagine how traumatized they are, because they kind of became like friends quickly while they were there. These young girls, like I don't know if you can see them down there. Those young girls were talking to that guy's wife, and then obviously that guy comes and kills them point blank. Like, you just get to know these people and then they fucking die right in front of you. Fucking insane. So hopefully let me get it in the center so you can see. I think it's about there, right? Yeah, boom. There he is there. He comes around. So that's the guy that shot him, by the way. That's the one that shot him. And then of course the shots start ringing off. I'm actually going to darken the screen and then play it so you can hear the shots. Crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy, man. And there's a video of him the previous day saying that he's driving around Las Vegas looking for the guy. Absolutely insane. And there's another video where the guy's wife just casually walks by those people on the floor dead. She just casually walks by on her phone. Somebody spotted her as well on the live stream. Fucking crazy, man. Crazy situation.
Fire, and we warn you, what you are about to hear and see might be disturbing.
Oh, they're gonna play it. Did they play? Okay, I darken the stream. Are they gonna play the whole thing? I don't want to get a fucking strike because I've already got cock and balls on my screen. I don't want to play the whole thing. Alright, cool. They play quite a bit of it, so let's play them. The sad thing is the wife spots him first. That's the sad thing. The guy comes from behind the guy, but the wife spots him and say, "Okay, don't be doing no foolishness around here." You know? She spots him straight away. Hey, don't cause any trouble. And unbeknownst to him, she thinks he's just gonna come there and maybe argue, shout, spit at him, maybe try and fight, punch him. Like, she has no idea the guy has a gun. You know? She just thinks he's gonna cause a bit of a commotion, but he pulls out the gun immediately.
Police believe they have the suspect identified.
Hey, by the way,
isolated.
By the way, Hero, big up that guy there. Big up that guy on the fucking bridge. I just saw that, by the way. I just recognize that. Big up that guy there. That's a real man. Hashtag real man. Where is he? Let me see him. Let me see this guy. Fucking Hero. That probably was his daughter or his wife, so it makes it easy. But big up this guy here. Big up this legend right there. Big up that human guy there. Look at him making a human shield for that lady or person, whoever he's with. Look at him, literally covering his body, literally covering his entire body on that person. What a fucking legend! What an absolute legend! Absolute fucking legend. In the midst of gunfire, by the way, everyone's shocked and panicking. He immediately jumps on and covers the person. What a fucking G. This person's a fucking bad boy.
Police believe they have the suspect identified.
What the fuck happened? X shot of current BF. No. Two warring streamers. Two streamers that have beef. So two warring streamers. I need to edit a lot of stuff out here. This guy, this black guy, is called Finny the Legend. This black guy here. This black guy is called Finny the Legend. And this black guy and this Mexican Hispanic looking fella were fighting online. They had beef online. And then this one here, this Mexican looking guy here called Sin City Manny. They had some sort of beef. Yeah, he got captured. He got captured quite quickly. I think he was jumping fences or something. I think he got arrested. I'm pretty sure he's been arrested.
And that this is an isolated incident. Now, they also tell us that this involved some sort of social media beef between the victim and the suspect. The Undersheriff Andrew Walsh spoke to us during a press conference at the scene last night. Here's a listen.
At this point, every effort is being made by members of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department to locate, apprehend, and arrest the suspect who is responsible for this crime.
Now, they have not identified the name of the suspect or the victims at this time, but we are still awaiting those answers. But what we can say is that it is a very somber feeling right now, having two lives being lost. We're now going to send it right on over to Andrew Nomura, who's going to give us a little bit more regarding that social media aspect to it. Andrew?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, tons of police presence here from our end. Currently right now at Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo, here on top of the pedestrian walkway, where we are getting our best vantage point of police presence here, as they have blocked off any entryway onto Las Vegas Boulevard in front of the Bellagio fountains. But just like you alluded to, Kim, Under Sheriff Walsh mentioning that this whole feud started on social media.
At this point, we believe we have the suspect.
And that guy's channel got terminated too, by the way. The shooter, his channel's gone too. So his whole channel's got terminated, I'm pretty sure. But I think when I checked it last, when it was still online, he disabled all the comments anyway. He disabled all the comments and everything. So I think he was aware that he was, you know, going down and shit as well. So yeah, his channel's gone. Sin City Manny.
Identified, and that this is an isolated incident, knowing that the suspect and the victim had previously engaged in some type of conflict using a variety of social media platforms.
Yeah, from what we can make out as we were doing our due diligence here, this apparently beef between what's called Sin City Manny, a YouTuber, also between Funny the Legend. Of course, this information not confirmed at this point, but doing some process journalism this morning. We also...
Like, come on, brother. Come on. What beef could these two guys be having that would necessary that they had to kill each other? One had to kill one and the other one. 14,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers. Really? Come on, man. Fucking hell. Not that subscribers would warrant somebody losing their lives, but fucking hell, bro. Jesus Christ. So tragic. Such a senseless crime.
Also saw that a tweet alleged that the beef was between these two YouTubers. Of course, we are working with authorities to figure out the best way, getting more information, and when we do, we'll be sure to bring that to you on air and online on news3lv.com. Kim, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
And
let me actually see. I'm gonna, because I've flopped a bit. Let me just darken the screen so I can get some stuff up on here. Let me see if I can find some other stuff about Sin City Manny. So let's bear me a second here. Sin City Manny. Maybe somebody's posted because I've read a bunch. I watched and read a bunch of stuff before in the morning, but let me see what else I can get up here so you guys can get an understanding of who this guy is. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's a video here we can quickly watch of him driving around the day before, allegedly, talking about wanting to hurt that guy. So this is a shooter.
Jerome, I'm out here searching for my baby. The fuck? I went through every fucking casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in fucking town. I'm dying to see him. I'm fucking dying to see him.
Stalking the guy then. Went to every casino, stalking the guy, probably trying to get his location based on his live stream. Because these guys on live stream probably could, you know, try to figure out where he roughly was. So he's fucked. He's basically fucked. You know, obviously he murdered him in cold blood, him and his wife, but yeah, this is all premeditated.
What are we doing? Fuel bar tonight? Is that what we're doing? I'll fucking be there. I'll fucking be there. You better fucking believe it. You come to my city and think I'm not gonna show up? You fucking think I'm not gonna show up? I should have been the first one to be told.
My city.
Right? Somebody should have sent me my invite. Mr. Marcus. That's right. We outside. We're doing fuel bar.
Let me see. There's a couple more things I want to check out here quickly. Let me just, because I think there might be something bad here. Let me darken, scroll past the bad thing. Get it back up again. This is a clip of the victim and his wife 24 hours before they got killed. Tragic, man. Tragic. This is the victim. This is the victim. 24 hours before they got killed, allegedly.
Stay tuned tonight. Put your notifications on. Hit the like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We'll be back.
Fucking hell, man. It's always worse when you see the victims and this sort of stuff, isn't it? You can kind of disconnect yourself when you see the perpetrator and shit. But when you see the people that passed away, man, like fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. And what they're playing in the background is at Akon. God almighty. Here's another clip. So Finny the Legend had 2 YouTube channels where him and his friends reacted and made fun of Sin City Manny, his content and his wife's looks. One channel was designated a troll channel targeting the guy. I'm not saying, but it wouldn't left him. I don't know. That's just, to be fair, that's what I do, innit? So what? Should like Brendan shoot me? You know, like what? Should Chin shoot me then? Is that deserved? Don't get me wrong, I don't take piss out of his wife and shit, but this is what everyone does on the internet, you know? It doesn't give you a license, doesn't give you a permission to just kill somebody in cold blood because they made fun of your channel or your wife's looks. I don't know. I get what this person's saying, but I don't think that's justification for what that guy did at all. Every action has a reaction. I know that. Every action has a reaction. And I'm a big believer in sometimes some people just don't play, you know? Some people don't play. Like there are some people in life, like that. I think that's why in general, when I was growing up, I don't know if you guys have had the same advice. Although it can be quite thrilling, people have always told you and known certain terms, you shouldn't mess with other people's girls. Right? Although it can be quite thrilling. Some guys get a joy out of it. Some guys do the whole thing about recording while they're fucking smashing the girl and getting the fucking girl to call the guy. All this sort of mad shit, right? Some people get off on that kind of thing. But people say you shouldn't mess with other people's girls because some guys don't play when it comes to their girls. They don't play when it comes to their wives. And if you do something like that, they will go right to the end, you know? Like they will, like a good example is Trouble. R.I.P. Trouble, the rapper Trouble. The rapper Trouble from Atlanta. That's how he passed away, innit? He was messing with some guy's girl, who they were on and off, I think, that guy and his girl. But Trouble was still messing with her. And then he went over to her house to fuck one time, and the guy knew he was there, turned up and shot fucking Trouble in his sleep, I think. Killed him right there. So you have some people, you just have to leave them alone. Some people you don't know what their thing is that makes them snap. But it's not justification for those guys dying the way they did. He killed them like they're fucking dogs, you know what I mean? Like worse than that even. Like that's fucking disgusting. Hopefully he gets buried under the jail. Nothing he did there was with any rhyme or reason. And now he's going to be in prison forever. So fuck him. There's another clip here. In this clip, Finny the Legend, that's a victim, has a surreal moment where he believes that the threat was credible from the other guy and not just the internet trash talk. Let's hear this.
I'm showing my face to you. You know
Before you come out here, make sure you tell your family you want to be cremated or buried. Puto.
You know I'm a black.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know whether JP said the one time, but JP more like sophisticated.
Do you think he knew? I think he had a feeling, innit? He had a gut feel. That guy's not joking. I think he had a gut feeling in that moment. That guy's not joking. Something snapped. R.I.P. to my man, but I think he had a feeling. Something told him. That guy isn't joking.
Dang. I mean, where I'm gonna get? Where you going? Where?
Cremated.
How? Like what?
He's lost for words. Wow.
Like if that happened, I'm like I said, let me check. I don't even know what to say.
Jesus Christ, he absolutely gagged him, innit? He lost for words.
Wait. That's not your baby, homie. Check your homie.
Fuck.
I'm showing my face to you.
Fuck. I'm not gonna lie, that guy kind of reminds me of Comparator. I'm not gonna lie. People in the stream chat who know who that is. That guy, the shooter, kind of reminds me of Comparator. Maybe evil Comparator. If that is even the thing, maybe Comparator is evil Comparator. He reminds of like evil Comparator. Oh yeah, big up Disease. Okay, cool. We got the stream chat. What are you guys saying here? The dude from Canada flew to California to attack some girl. He was infatuated in my city. 10 toes. Is that true? A guy flew from Canada to California to attack some girl. He was infatuated in my city. Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. You got to be careful who you fuck with. Exactly. You got to be careful who you get in touch with online. Exactly. Big up James Banks. For sure, Bappa will go to the deepest waters or even shoot someone. Yep. Like a thief in the night, I'll take anything but pussy. Exactly. The same genre of Mexicans. Yeah, exactly. Let's see another one here. What's this? No. Yeah, here we go. This is a clip of them taking the piss out of the guy before he passed away.
Let's get this clear though, y'all.
So, what do you guys think? This is a clip of the victim who passed away, and this is what he used to do, I guess, on stream, taking the piss out of the Hispanic guy, Sin City Manny. What do you guys think? No, sorry, Finny the Legend. No, a few hours ago. No, Sin City Manny. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think this was too much? This type of trolling? Was this bullying? Let me know.
Let's get this clear though, y'all, because we all laugh and joke. This is a PR moment. We all laugh and joke, but mental illness is real, and we can clearly see this guy is mentally ill. So one thing about it, that's why I want to put it on y'all too. If he give us another strike and I got 3, y'all know that channel mean everything to him. He don't got no outside friends, nothing. I don't think I could do it in my heart. And I'm saying this on live so he can hear it too. Shout out LDT. But I don't think I can take his channel from him, man, because I think he's He's so close to going in the closet, man. And he's so close, man.
Fuck that. You know what the first thing I asked you, did you give him a strike? Fuck that, nigga. You swing at me, we swinging back twice. Boot him to the motherfucking moon.
That guy on the line, whoever that guy was who was encouraging the guy to give him a strike, I wonder what he's thinking now. Is he going to slide for his boy? That guy that was antagonized, that guy that, the guy that died, RIP to him, it sounded like he was trying to calm things down a bit. He didn't want to give the guy another strike. He didn't want to troll. He didn't want to continue. He said he probably was mentally ill. Even though he was taking a piss, it sounded like he was trying to calm it down and walk it back. The other guy was saying, nah, fuck it. Let's keep going. Let's keep trolling him. Well, now your boy's dead. Are you going to ride for your boy? Are you going to avenge your boy and his wife or not? Are you going to keep trolling or not? Crazy work, man. Crazy fucking work. Crazy fucking work. This is what's this? This is scumbag shooter Manny the Sin City family on TikTok. Apparently they have a lot of issues with other creators.
Catch you on a red light, Finny.
Definitely mental health issues, isn't it? Finny the legend has been ridiculing Sin City, a YouTuber, rejected Manny's copyright claim. Manny retaliated by shooting and killing Finny. Many have killed Finny's wife as well. And many what? Oh, he's coming on the run. He hasn't been arrested. He's on the run. They said, okay. Sin City. Okay, cool. I thought he got arrested. I read somewhere that he got arrested. Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. Good point. That's where I'll end it on. That's where I'll end this coverage on. And I think I need to maybe play one more clip to maybe lighten the mood before I leave. But this is where I end this topic on. And this guy eloquently put it together. Ruffs summarized it in the best way possible. Big up Detroit's own. Sean the Terrible. I just went down a YouTube rabbit hole in the Finny v Sin City. 1. I still don't understand what is going on. And 2. Most of Finny's content for the last year has been about that man, Sin City, that killed him and his wife. You can't play with everybody. Exactly. You can't play with everybody. Good point. That's basically what it is. RIP to the people that died. But yeah, some people just don't play. Some people just truly don't fucking play. Terrible. Man pulled up bare face, on stream. Bare face, no mask. Like in the middle of the fucking evening, peak times on the main strip, it looked like in Las Vegas, and just shot the guy, and he's killed him and his wife. Not even just killed him because he's his enemy and he's the guy that he doesn't like. He shot him and his wife. To be fair, maybe the wife got in the way of the shots. Who knows? But he didn't stop shooting. He kept fucking blasting. He didn't give a fuck. Absolutely crazy dude. Oh my god, man. I thought streaming game exactly. Yeah, exactly. Shot on the sidewalk too. Loads of witnesses too. He didn't give a single fuck. Let's do one more video. Let's do what's his name? Let's do what's his fucking name again? And then I got loads of stuff. I gotta do the fucking maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Sorry, I gotta do the fucking Crackamico stuff. Big up Josie. Josie said it's a Crackamico clips. I need to fucking react to it, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. Not enough time. So let me do a Poetic FLAKKO. There's a new, what's his fucking name? Point and shoot video. There's a new point and shoot video that I want to react to here quickly. So let's do that before I leave, and then the rest of the stuff we'll save for tomorrow, because I've got a bunch of stuff I've got to get through actually tomorrow. So we'll save that for tomorrow. Where's that video? Where are you? Big up everybody in the stream chat. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Don't be lame. Help me out. Where is it? Where's that video I was gonna watch? Okay, cool. There it is. Let's just play some. Poetic FLAKKO hates his co-workers. Poetic FLAKKO hates his. Was it Poetic Stinky? Who says that? That's fucking hilarious. What's that? Big up, David. God's favorite. What's God's
All right,
favorite?
so for this video,
big up God's favorite. No, the wife was trying to save Finney from what she thought was going to be a crazy dude trying some shit. No. Yeah, of course. I don't have any problem with the wife. I'm just saying the guy was crazy. The wife did what the wife was meant to do. Do you know what I mean? She tried to hold her husband down, tried to protect him, but unfortunately, you know, she didn't have the necessary things in hand to kind of stop somebody killing her husband. Sad one. Tragic shit. But yeah, big up everybody in the stream. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, all that good shit. I'ma play Poetic FLAKKO hates his co-workers, courtesy of Point and Shoot. Let's react to that one. Big up Loud Clap, Point and Shoot.
I want to talk to you guys about this super funny situation where Poetic Minyango Jala, or simply Tokpa,
Frederick Jala is my real
is
name.
having major
Frederick Jala
issues
is my
with
real
Adam
name.
16 because the 16 refuses to obey him. Now, I'll explain what I mean by that. So, Poetic Jala believes that he has a lot of clout.
I'm sure Bree has more clout than me and probably everyone in this room, but I don't know because I'm not tapped in.
He's got this illness in his mind where he believes that he's not this widely hated mid-level YouTuber who's a massive lolcow. Jala believes that, and I'm not kidding about this, he believes that he is the next Charlemagne the God. What? I'm not kidding. He thinks he's a celebrity, okay? This is not, I'm not even exaggerating.
Jala is
Charlemagne the God.
And so what's been going on is Jala has been attempting to dictate to his co-hosts who he believes are beneath him. He's trying to dictate to them who they can and cannot mention on No Jumper.
Who? Don't. I'm not giving that bitch ass like clout chaser no.
Also, Rich Trapper.
But y'all love to give niggas clout for some reason. But what is wrong with y'all? Like, I'm gonna tell the story and mention the people that matters.
So he mattered then?
No. No. There goes the more clout.
I didn't even say his real name.
I'm saying, bro, why even give the clout chasers who have nothing going on? I'm telling him, do not even like beyond.
So
a man who's
the way, honestly, like, it's fascinating to me that he has a career or his job is to speak on camera on the internet, and he has this aggressive stutter where his whole face and lips contorts in a mad way. He's like, what, 5'2" and 600 pounds, what looks like mostly grease and water weight. Like, it's quite an interesting thing, isn't it, to pick the one career that relies on people looking at you and you look and sound the way he does. Insane life choices.
Whose entire identity is seeking the most clout he can get. I've worked so hard, and like most of us here have worked so hard, bro, to really like build our names, bro. If y'all want to do, y'all do it, bro. Just don't do it when I'm here, bro. Because I don't.
And he closes his lips, closes his eyes, contorts his lips like a bussy and shit. Like, fucking insane.
Even right, cause here,
Wow, so let's look at that again. So whenever Jala gets upset, his shit just starts skipping, doesn't it? Look at this.
Right, bro. Look, do you think that Charlemagne the God, after working as hard as like he worked, will respond back to us and on this platform?
Yeah, I'm about to say no.
So Jala is clearly out of his mind. His pathology in his mind is such that his egomania is so out of control that he thinks that he has the authority to tell people what to do.
No, I'm giving you all the. I was gonna give you all the.
Please don't drink liquor right now.
This isn't liquor.
This
is coffee.
Okay, sure.
Coffee.
What do you mean? Okay, sure. Who are you telling who to? Nah, he needs to get punched in the face. What do you mean don't drink liquor? Who are you telling not to drink and what to, like, he really thinks he runs No Jumper, innit? He really thinks he runs it. That's the thing he's going to be in a rude awakening for. Adam22, for as much as I dislike him, he really likes to remind people who's boss. He really enjoys reminding people from time to time who's boss, whether it's firing them, whether it's fucking getting into an argument. Adam22 loves nothing more than reminding his employees who's the bosses. So this ain't going to work. Do you know what I mean? This ain't gonna work. Maybe another place it might work, but Adam is gonna remind him who's boss at one point. Who knows? Maybe FLAKKO gets fired next. You never know. Maybe he leaves. You never know.
Coffee.
Oh, so did you see that? So he's like, oh, it's coffee? Oh, okay, well then I'll allow it. What? And Lush is like, it's coffee, fool. Shut the fuck up, fool. And I'll drink what the fuck I want, fool, on Westlows. What? So Jala clearly has a false sense of authority at No Jumper, and I think the 16 notices this. And so what the 16 of Nashua is doing is he's deliberately hiring and associating with all the people that Jala doesn't even want mentioned on the show. This is crazy. So Jala and the 16 might have conflict. This is so important. I want to show you this clip of the 16 saying that he's going to hire ODM Slim, hopefully.
Shout out to ODM Slim becoming a member. Flacco is laying down the law, acting like he's just never going to talk to us again if we do an ODM Slim interview. Personally, I'm down to have him on the channel, of course.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Now, they should. ODM Slim is super funny. How is fucking Flacco dictating who does and who doesn't, man? Fuck off.
But it is important to note that ODM Slim went on a campaign with Change.org to get Poetic Menyengo Jala deported back to Africa.
Frederick Jala is my real name.
As a United States citizen,
Frederick Jala is my real name.
To be protected in my own country.
What are you talking about?
As a United
So
States-
you trying to get him? You trying to get him deported?
Listen, let me can I speak?
All right, go
That's
ahead,
my
go
spiel,
ahead.
kid.
Go ahead.
That's a little place.
Shout out to ODM Slim becoming a member.
He said that thing he just got beef with some of your employees or something like that, or whoever he got beef with. I don't even ask him who he got beef
I think it's just Flacco.
The thing is,
So this is really important here. So the 16 is going out of his way to get all of Jala's enemies on No Jumper to speak on Jala. And this guy right here, Young Ant Hefe, was one of the people that Jala tried to block, but it didn't work because the 16 finds people that Jala doesn't like, and then he brings them onto the show to talk about Jala. This is Young Ant Hefe, and Jala hates him. Jala wants him jobless, broke. He wishes he was dead. What? Jala fucking hates Young Ant Hefe, and guess what? The 16 hired him to be a No Jumper host. And what's interesting about Young Ant Hefe is that he doesn't go after Jala. He doesn't have a problem with Jala like ODM Slim does, or Rich Trapper does, or the countless other people. He doesn't have a problem with Jala. Jala just hates him because he doesn't think that he deserves clout. What? I'm not kidding.
Called, I think, like Young Ant or whatever his name is. I don't know him. Somebody sent me a clip where I seen the Big 22 start saying he's about to.
That's like a. What is with all locals not knowing people? Someone make that? Could someone let me know in the stream chat? What is it with all locals not knowing? It's like a common local thing. From Wings to Boogie to DSP, they always don't know things. Oh, I didn't see that. I don't know who that is. It's like, brother, you're a local. You're on the internet. Of course you know who that is. Of course you know who that is. We all know who that is. They all do that. Every local does that. They have no idea who anybody is that criticizes them. Anybody that is that fucking says something about them. They have no idea. Oh, I have no idea. I'm so above that. I'm so above knowing who somebody is. This is a comment, but yeah, look, honestly, like, what's his fucking name? Macwop isn't a super skinny guy himself, right? Macwop isn't a super skinny guy. He's not fat by any means, but he's not super skinny. But look at how big fucking Flacco makes. Look at how big Flacco makes thingy. No, in comparison, that's what I'm trying to say. Macwop, look how, yeah. Frederick Jala is so big, he makes Macwop look skinny. And Macwop is so skinny, he makes Jala look like a fucking beast. Like, God almighty, look at us. Like, I don't think even two of Macwop's thighs, paws, will account as one fucking Flacco thigh. Honestly, I don't think two of his thighs together would be the same size as one of Flacco's thighs. God almighty.
Powerful bunch.
Yeah, big Aziz.
Thighs looking like a flotation device.
Fucking crazy. And again, he picks a career where he has to sit in front of a camera. That's the thing that trips me out. He's got an aggressive stutter, an aggressive face paralysis inducing stutter. Like, there's gonna come a time where he's gonna stutter so much his whole face is gonna get caught in that fucking pose, right? He's got such an aggressive fucking stutter that his whole body shakes. He closes his eyes, his mouth trembles, and he's built the way he does, but then he wants to go on camera and have a career like that. And he wants to talk about other people, criticize people online, like speak about girls and shit and dating. It's like, bro, you look like you'd, like, I don't know. It's just, I just find that always fascinating. People that do that sort of stuff. It's like, wow, interesting career choice.
Why? Young who? Young
Aunt Hefe.
So people are like, why wouldn't you want people to interview young Aunt Hefe? And then Jala tells a lie and says that young Aunt Hefe has been having a campaign against No Jumper for the last 6 months, which is not true.
If we have the president of nobody enemies being, you feel me? And like, that's a nigga who went cloud chasing and on like my name and like No Jumper name for a while, right?
See, I didn't even know that you had issues with that.
So Jala.
Fred, I love it. I love it. Look at his face. Look at that. I love how he puts his name on the same level as No Jumper. My name and No Jumper's name. He's the ego is fucking crazy.
Continues to try to dictate, even in front of the 16's face, who No Jumper should and should not be.
That's what big up Ason. That's the thing I'm saying. He was normal size in high school, so that's why I think he's got some sort of thyroid issue. Something's going on. It's not just all food. How do you get that big so quickly? Like, because he's quite young, and he's probably in his mid-20s or something, right? Like, how did he go from high school being like being like somewhat small and skinny to that? Like, he is like, that's a big fucking boy, a big fucking boy.
Be interviewing based on his personal little vendettas and stuff like that, and so Jala is actually extremely pathetic.
I didn't know is that an Amiri hoodie? They make Amiri in his size. Oh yeah, that's what I'm about to say. They make Amiri. I'm about to how they make Amiri in his size. What's his name? Is it Chris Amiri? Whatever the guy's name is, the designer of Amiri. He's American, isn't it? I keep forgetting. Obviously it's a fashion label and they do their bits. Not for me personally, not my kind of brand, but it is an American fashion brand. I keep forgetting. So most likely he has American sizing. So he probably does go up to big sizes. But if Amiri was like a European brand, there's no way he's fitting in that shit. There's no way. That's it. Mike, not Chris Amiri. Mike Amiri, yeah. Mike Amiri, like I'm pretty sure he does. He must do like a regular American sizing over XL. He probably does 4XL and shit. And probably the cuts as well are probably more forgiving. So to allow, some of the bigger folks out there in the States to wear the shit. But yeah. Flakko's lucky that shit is American based and not European.
And so the 16's just getting fed up with Jala. He doesn't want to fire Jala because he thinks Jala will go on like a big campaign against him and make 100 videos about him and expose all of the secrets. And so he's trying to get Jala to quit by inviting all of Jala's ops onto this. Isn't that interesting? How all of Jala's enemies are being offered spots on No Jumper.
That's funny. But I don't think Lush was Flakko's enemy before he got there. I think they might have fell out while they were there. But I don't think he was up before.
We've got this King Pill that Jala hates that just got, take a look at this.
He tried cloud chasing with me, but I just completely like block him off immediately. And then I look up a week later, he's on a jumper. And he DM'd me saying, "I'm gonna kill you when I see you." Bro, like be for real, bro.
Now I do want to talk about King Pill for a moment here. So King Pill is supposed to have a sanctioned boxing match with 4 Extra for money, like one of those prize fights. And Jala hates this idea. And the 16 loves this idea, and everyone loves this idea, but Jala hates it because he doesn't want to give King Pill any clout.
Yo, we in the middle of New York City, Adam 22, I got a big announcement. I just signed my boy King Pill to a celebrity boxing deal. We got a big fight coming up, 4 Extras. I don't know if you're really still locked up or not. Maybe that's just a play. Maybe you're just ducking my man King Pill. But either way, we're going to make this fight happen. Everybody out there, we need y'all to tune in. Celebrity boxing, King Pill, 4 Extra. That's the fight to make. Let's go.
Yeah, all that little popping and all you niggas been popping it. We're going to see who really get active, though. Yeah, let's turn up.
Big.
And so as the story...
What the fuck is going on, man? What has No Jumper turned into? What the fuck is going on? What happened to interviewing the up and coming musicians and shit and what the fuck is this? Oh yeah.
Because the 16 announces this boxing match between King Pill and 4 Extra. 4 Extra ended up turning down the fade.
What?
And so King Pill got upset about this and decided to go to 4 Extra's neighborhood and start making videos and posting trolling videos, okay?
We outside with this shit, nigga. Where we at? On Fig and what? What is this? Fig and what? Vernon? Fig and Vernon out here live and direct, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about?
So I guess that guy draped in that red bandana was King Pill, and this was all just a big marketing scheme. It was very idiotic, and no one thought it was cool. But this is where Jala starts blaming Lush One, the cocaine bot, for this whole thing. And he's blaming Lush because he doesn't want to blame the 16. He doesn't want to openly call out the 16, so he's doing it vicariously through Lush. What? He's blaming the 16 through Lush. He's taking out all of his anger toward the 16th cuck onto this cocaine bot.
FLAKKO doesn't want to call out directly Adam, doesn't want to call Adam out directly, and clearly has a problem with the way Adam runs his business in certain aspects. I had no idea this fight was set up. I had no idea this was a thing. But instead of FLAKKO calling out Adam, he calls out No Jumper. And the no...
I fucking hate the way fucking Lush uses his hands when he speaks. I fucking hate it.
Jumper show for incensing the argument, fanning the flames, and agreeing with it.
Joe said, man, he turning on the fade, yo. I think he's scared to fight the homie, bro. They the same size and weight. Oh no, he's scared. Y'all was pushing that line heavy the last show, Lush.
When really what he wants to say is, Adam, why are you doing this? This is fucked up. Adam, why are you platforming this cloud chaser? Adam, why are you setting up this fight? And Adam, it's janky that you're putting full extra in this situation when he never wanted this fight. And now, Adam, due to you trying to set up this fight, you got this quote-unquote uncontrollable clout chaser, King Bill, that's per FLAKKO's words, now sliding and causing actual gang beefs potentially in Los Angeles County. Instead of saying that, he wants to blame No Jumper. He wants to blame me. But since what you want to say is, Adam, I don't like that you did this. Adam, I don't like that you're platforming this.
Now, it's kind of crazy to think about, but Lush is 100% spot on. What? Jala hates the 16, and he is taking it out on Lush. I want to show you this next clip where Jala starts getting real mad. And he starts putting his finger in Lush's face and like sternly lecturing Lush on what he's doing. But he would never do this to the 16 because he knows that so Jala needs No Jumper, unfortunately. Basically. And this became evident when Jala moved to Texas for that few months there. He wanted to move, but when he moved to Texas and he was no longer on No Jumper, he became instantly irrelevant overnight. So he moved back to No Jumper because he was suffering. He was his YouTube channel.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he moved to Texas and then moved back to LA again. That would explain a lot. Okay, that explains a lot.
Was dying, and it was dying fast, and he did not anticipate that. He thought that he didn't need No Jumper anymore. He thought that he got the starter pack that he needed, and now he has enough clout to move on without No Jumper. But that was false. He needs No Jumper. When he moved to Texas, so a lot of people don't know about this because it's been buried, but this is true. Poetic Manyengo Jala told his audience that he moved to Texas permanently to become the new father of his sister's son, his nephew. What? Oh, yeah. He told everyone, I'm a father figure now. I it's my responsibility to raise this young man. And he was really just trying to get everyone to think that he's this great guy, when in fact that was all a lie, and he abandoned that lie very quickly. But I wanted to show you this lie. This is Jala claiming that he is stepping up to be a father.
Where do we start? Let's go back to October when I left LA. Now, a lot of speculations have been thrown out there as to why I left LA. Some YouTubers said I left LA because I went broke. Some YouTubers say that I left LA because of them, because they were full court pressing me in the streets and I left to get away from them. The truth of the matter is I left because a family member of mine got incarcerated and my nephew was left unguided.
It's funny how he could speak normally on his own channel, isn't it? Why doesn't he fucking climb up and stutter? Is it because he's around other people? He gets scared when he's around other humans. He can talk completely normally when he's on his own channel, but then when he gets on No Jumper, it's like, whoa.
And he needed somebody to step in to help raise him, guide him, as his mom is in prison. So I stepped in. Now, while moving, I thought it would be a chore.
So I do want to be clear here. Jala said that he moved. He did not say that he was staying at his sister's house to watch her kid or anything. He said he moved and that he was the new father figure in his nephew's life. What? I swear, people in the Reddit can confirm this. People in the comments can confirm this that saw this. Jala told everyone that he was a father now. So what ended up happening is his YouTube channel just fell completely the fuck off. And so he decided to ditch that little story and move back to LA.
Oh, is that true? Big up S1, is that true? He edits it, okay. Yeah, big up Asad Aziz. Without the internet, FLAKKO would have a job involving reflective vests and a walkie-talkie 100%. Oh, okay. He edits it. Okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense, man.
Powerful bunch.
Big up Asad Aziz.
Zaddy Frederick Jalla, weary face emoji, weary face emoji. He's such a good man. Romantic face emoji.
Big up Asad.
And then started the news, which is basically Jalla takes topics from his own YouTube channel and talks about them on the news so that his videos get recommended to everyone who just watched the No Jumper news. It's very simple, and this is how he regained his numbers on YouTube. And you can see what his numbers look like in October 2024 through, you know, the time that he came back in early 2025, and then the skyrocketing of his numbers with the Big U indictment and all the people getting murdered and stuff like that. Jalla really had a field day. But as you can see, the numbers are coming back down. He's not very talented. He's not this great. People think that Jalla is this like entertainment savant. His videos actually suck, if I'm going to be real. So he needs No Jumper to algorithmize his videos. He needs to be talked about on No Jumper so that his videos get recommended to a larger audience. His YouTube videos, that is. So he needs No Jumper, so he can't be going and getting fired like Dodson. What? He's got to stay, and this is what I think's going on. He's like, he wants to stay at No Jumper for the sake of his career, but he can't stand all these gang members. And the 16 has this sick infatuation with gang members, so this is just not very good for Jalla. And so in this next clip, we're going to see Jalla just squirming around in that chair trying to blame this whole thing on Lush. Watch this.
When the first body drop, are you going to feel like, damn, I'm the reason why somebody died?
There's no circumstance where I am the reason why anybody drops.
Oh, okay. Let's walk through it again, okay? Let's walk through it again, okay?
Fucking
Two hoods.
What is?
You can feel that, by the way. You can feel that. Anybody that's ever been big or has ever worn something, you can always feel when your skin is exposed like that. You can always feel it. He just doesn't care. You can always feel it. Disgusting.
Let's walk through it again.
Okay, but you go ahead.
Two hoods.
So I just got to talk about this for a second. So Jalla, so this is a person who has a problem giving other people clout. Look at this outfit. What? This is virtually insane. I've never seen anything that. What in the hell is this?
Pinstripe suit trousers. So he's got an Amiri hoodie, which doesn't even look like an Amiri hoodie, to be fair. Looks like doesn't look like anything they would design, but anyway. He's got an Amiri hoodie. He's got pinstripe suit trousers. And then Birkenstocks with no socks and dry feet. Just all over the place.
How is this even possible? Look at these godforsaken clothes. He's got an Amiri hoodie on. In June, we've got pinstripe cargo slacks. What? That's insane. These are prescription only. These pants. These were prescribed by a doctor, a bariatric doctor, a doctor who deals with a lot of fat people. And he's got look at these. These are the Minyango Airs. What? Really, really disrespectful to have this. And he's got his butt crack out. You know, his butt crack runs all the way up to his shoulder blades. So you know that his butt crack is fully exposed to this couch. These blankets that you're seeing, this blanket that he's sitting on, that's not by mistake. They put those on there because of Jalla's crack. And you can see Lush scooted he's like, I'm not trying to sit on fucking Jalla's disgusting tarps. What? These are Jalla tarps. So he's like, nah, fool, I ain't sitting on that shit. I know what goes on that motherfucker. On West Los, homie. And so Jalla's fully extended. He looks like he's doing the crane. I mean, how disrespectful is this? And he had to shift his weight around and sort of wiggle around to get into this position so that he could extend his arms. Like, you know, if he would have extended his arms like this in the position he was at, he would have fallen over. It's a weight distribution issue, okay? So Jalla is completely out of pocket just being himself. Does this make sense? It's virtually insane. I mean, are you out of your mind? You're going to come on No Jumper looking like a gluttonous hobo that just got done digging through the lost and found? What? I mean, you look absolutely disgustingly terrible. His toes are just hanging out. They're just looking gross as fuck. The shortened crusties, they're just throbbing with fungi, and they're just disgusting as fuck. And people don't want to see or smell this, but Jalla can't get those socks on. He can't get he's got shoes. What? He's got a pair of shoes in his car, but he doesn't want to put them on because of the effort that it would take. The energy expenditure to get socks and shoes on exceeds what Jalla is willing to expend. So I don't want to get too long-winded here, but man, this is really, fuck, man, that's just really out of pocket.
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
so I just want to continue with this clip. Jala is going to continue grilling Lush.
Who had no beef whatsoever with each other at all, no interaction at all. One person who had no business being entertained because that person had no clout, had no type of relevancy. He has no clout. He's a nobody. Y'all contrived this storyline up. Now the storyline that y'all contrived up is now getting to a point where somebody is going to a hood with a gun.
When he says
at
y'all,
what point do you say no? Come on.
When he says y'all, he's talking about Adam.
No, nigga.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to admit
No
it.
Jumper podcast. You was there that day talking about 4 Extra was scared. Let's cut it out.
I said 4 extra scared. I said 4 extra scared.
You said
exactly. No, I did not say
So
that.
it's really easy for Jala to tear into Lush because he hates Lush, always has. He wants Lush fired. Lush is targeted by Jala for fireman. And Lush is next. It was Dodson, and now it's Lush, the two people that exposed him for lying about his past. So he has a grudge against Lush, so he's really tearing into Lush, even though he wants to tear into the 16, but he can't because he needs no jumper. And he can't turn on the 16 and get fired because then his YouTube numbers will go down like 60%, as we've seen in the past.
Like a bunch of people. So that explains. Remember my open-ended question. Why do all these guys that fall out with Adam 22, he treats them like shit, he fires them, like Lush, for instance, on air, says mad shit about them, ridicules them. Why do they all eventually run back to fuck Adam 22? He doesn't change his behavior. He doesn't apologize, but they always run back to him. And I think Point and Shoot basically explained it. FLAKKO, no matter how big and ugly and fucking gross he looks, he still has a pretty popping YouTube channel. He has like over 100,000, I think, subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, FLAKKO. Most of his videos get like 30k views plus, maybe 100k views. So he does pretty well on his own channel. But FLAKKO still clocks in and clocks out, no jumper. He still kisses the ring. He still doesn't want to upset Adam, you know? So the reason why people always go running back to Adam is because he's got no jumper and he pays well, you know? Because I don't think I've heard a single person complain about their pay from no jumper. Not one. Maybe people later, you know, after the fact complain maybe they didn't get paid enough, but while they're there, I don't think I've heard a single person complain they don't get paid on time or so he clearly pays people well, or maybe even above what they're probably worth. So that's why people always go running back. FLAKKO stays there because although his channel's doing good, having extra money is not a bad thing, I guess.
Past. So I think this is really funny. I'm interested in how this is all going to play out. I'm wondering if the 16 is going to say, Jala, get the fuck out, you stank motherfucker. If the 16 fires Jala like on the show and tells him to get the fuck out and, you know, makes fun of him for like 2 weeks straight afterwards, I may never cover No Jumper again. What? I may be like, you know what? I'm going to go and I'll talk about, I'll start a cooking show. That's not a promise, by the way. I'm probably just joking about that. But seriously, that would be really funny if Jala just was just like, we're sick of your clout chasing fucking ass. Get the fuck out.
Such a good
That'd
impression.
Be really funny.
Such a good impression.
One can hope. One can only hope for that. For entertainment purposes only, I'm sure Jala will do just fine without No Jumper. That's what everyone says anyways. But his YouTube channel will die and he will become completely irrelevant. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Big up Point and Shoot. Anyways, my friends, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, okay? Don't be lame. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. FLAKKO. Eventually, that's the thing though. FLAKKO's not dumb though, innit? He does avoid and does make sure he stays out of the way when it comes to confrontations on stream. Like if somebody he doesn't like is on live stream and they book him, he doesn't go. He refuses, he declines. So I don't think he's ever going to get caught out that way in terms of on-air beef or something. I don't think he's ever going to get caught out that way. Someone will have to kind of appear without invitation and surprise him. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll just play this role where he quietly hates all the people that Adam is booking, especially if they're his ops, but he won't say nothing or he won't, act out over it because he still needs a job or wants a job. But then he'll take out his aggression or whatever passive aggressively out on Lush because, he can bully Lush. Because eventually, he kind of mugged off Lunch that one time when he offered to fight him and Lush didn't go outside. So yeah, I think he'll be fine. in general. But it's just funny that No Jumper has this guy on who I don't think a lot of people even in the building like. I got a feeling a lot of people in that building don't even like fucking FLAKKO because of how he smells, because of his dumb opinions, because of the stuttering, because of the fact that he walks around like he owns a place. So I'm pretty sure some people in that office will probably be happy if he did leave, but I don't think he's going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He's just going to avoid all the people that he doesn't like and keep it moving. So that's where we're at with FLAKKO. That's where we're at with FLAKKO. Anyways, people, that's me. I gotta love you and leave you. Thank you for tuning into the Random Show episode number. What was it in the end? I keep forgetting numbers. 412. We're smashing through the numbers. 412. Day number 8. Tomorrow will be day number 9. Please come and tune in with me. Hang out with me tomorrow. Day number 9. Hang out with me. Membership, member of fun. That'd be greatly appreciated. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. I'll add the timestamps later on today, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. But thank you for tuning in. See you guys again tomorrow. Okay, see you guys again tomorrow. Peace and blessings to all of you. Peace and blessings to all of you. Peace and blessings to all of you. Okay, cool. Yeah, today's a bit of a short one too. I think there'll be a bit of a long one tomorrow, and a long one during the day on Wednesday. So if you're around, drop by on Tuesday and Wednesday. Those ones will be a bit longer. But thank you for tuning in, people. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Help me out. That'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay? Tomorrow.